Hey guys, welcome back. I have some orders that we need to pack away, and I wanted to show you guys some more of our sewing using the Cricut machine. So if you have a Cricut machine and you're just starting off, it's really awesome to have a look. Hey Jadzia, hope you're feeling better. Hope this cheers you up today. You know, we're doing a live during the day just because I'm packing orders during the day because I got no kids. So I thought, you know what, I will pack some orders, make some more stuff. And I thought I'd show you guys, since a lot of people were quite curious last night. So about all the stuff that I was making. So I thought I'd try during the day, see if there's more people that want to see what we're doing. So I still got all the stuff out from last night, which I need to put away. What happens, it gets messy so fast. So today we're making an order for Kalisha. Last night we did begin to make the bows, the dog bows that she had, that she wanted matching with her scrunchie. So we got the bigger one. This was just my test tryout. And this one is the one that she wanted the size wise, and it's got Velcro on the back, so you just Velcro it, attach it to the collar. And for the bigger one, because it's going to be when the dog's bigger, because she's a puppy at the moment, I was going to attach elastic, but we're going to try that one out. Again, you won't be able to use the sewing machine because it will go all the way through and you'll see the stitching on the front, so it's going to have to be a hand sew project, which is a bit time consuming, but it's all handmade, and that's the great part of it. So I also have these that came in the mail. I did make a video, but I haven't put it on yet. Oh, what's this? Oh no, so you're still in ISO. Oh, that sucks, but I'm glad it's your last day. And it sucks about uni that you have so much to do. Can they email it to you, like all the work that you do at uni? Because I did that for my husband. I think it depends on the uni and the course that you're doing. But they should be able to, especially if they know it's COVID. I'll put this, actually no, I'm going to keep this little sleeve just so it doesn't get lost and damaged. So I actually ordered these on eBay from To Bling, highly recommend. They were like $67 and I got 400 tags, and it's actually got sunflower and wisp written on it. I haven't used them yet, but I've seen a lot of other people use it. Like put tags on their scrunchies and bows and stuff, so I'm really excited. So what you do is you like fold it in half, and then you just sew it on, and it's just got sunflower and wisp on there. So I'm super excited to get started with that. We got like an off-white ivory colour, just because I didn't want it to be white, and I didn't want it to be like a completely different colour. I'm super indecisive, so that really helps. Cool banana, so I recommend going through her with it. She was super nice. You can tell her like what font, and she confirms with you the design, which I think is really important. And she's in New South Wales, so the shipping was really fast. I think it came in less than a week, or maybe just at a week. So I have too many packages to track, so I forget real easily. But also for Kalisha's order, because she wants it matching with a scrunchie. Let me grab my scrunchies. Now the reason these are on my belt is because I was waiting for the labels to come so I can sew them on. And they have come in, so it looks like I have a lot of sewing ahead of me. But the one that she's after is the one that's in brown, and it matches with it. So they're all the way in the middle. That's okay. So I actually just attach these with pins to the elastic. There we go. And that's how I put it on there. So I sewed the elastic and I sew the outside together just because it's easier, but the main part of it is already sewn, so it's a lot easier to just sew the last little bit, attach the tag. The reason I didn't sew them all straight away was because I was waiting for the tags, and I didn't want the tags to come in and then I have like all these scrunchies that I haven't that I have to unpick and then put them back on, and it just doesn't look as nice. So I thought I'd do that. So she's got scrunchie and the bows, and we're going to attach elastic to this bow so it can go with the collar, just because the bigger the dog, usually the bigger the collar, but I don't know what collar size she's going to have, so I'd rather be safe than sorry, just attach elastic. I do have black elastic, which does blend in really well, And I do have white elastic. I have so much elastic from when I started this business pre-pandemic, or just as a pandemic hit. So I've got so many elastics from masks I was making, but I did stop, so I've got all this leftover stuff. So if you guys have any cool things that you can make out of elastic, let me know, besides scrunchies, because that's all I'm working on with them. That's all I know how to. And the masks, I don't know, I don't think they'll be as popular now, just because it's not a mandate to wear them, especially in WA. So I got this black elastic here. It's quite thick, but it's also really stretchy. So with my elastics, I did buy some from Aldi when they were on special, and I did buy some from Spotlight when they were on special. I think I bought them as birch, like the birch packs, the multiple packs. So what I'm just doing with this is I'm just going to attach the elastic on there, just instead of the Velcro, because the Velcro you can only like, it's already pre-made this, and that just sits on the collar, whereas the Velcro you can get that bit more stretch if it is a bigger collar. It did take last night me thinking, how am I going to make the bigger one work, just because I want it to be right for her and her dog. So my dog's collar is probably about a bit bigger than that. So if I do that and then it stretches, I don't know if you can really see it, to this big, so that should be enough to get over all the hardware. Yes, I actually did get started pre-pandemic on making them. I have all the supplies, all the fabrics I do have for the scrunchies and everything else, and I do have the clips. I bought a heap from Amazon. I think I bought something like 100 clips, and I just never got around to it. So that's a really good idea. I will make some. I've had people ask if I'm making baby ones. Again, it will have to be something that I get into soon. But yes, so I'm going to cut this off. I think I made some Harry Potter ones. I'll have to try and find them and show you guys. So I'm just going to cut this. Put this elastic away. Sorry if my voice is a bit croaky. I dropped the kids off at daycare this morning and it was too early. So I went back for a little nap. So my voice is a little bit croaky still. I did waste a day away. But I usually work well at night time anyway. I'm a bit of a night owl, so it's still good for me. So that's got quite a large amount of stretch, and it is quite thick as well. So I did have my sewing needle last night, and I have misplaced it. I always misplace my needles, and they're so small. You'd think, no, there it is. I left it on the piece of paper so I could see it. That's awesome. Right, so we got our sewing needle. We will get some of our thread off the sewing machine, because again, you got to hand thread it. And I got this colour that's matching the colour of the bow. Put that back on there. I'm just going to attach it to our needle first. I've been getting better and better at putting these through. Just a little bit of water on there so it just slides on through the hole for the needle. This one is quite small. I can feel it. The intensity of doing this on a live. There we go. I really need one of those needle threaders. I have one from my machine, but I don't have one. Well, I probably do have one, and I just never realised that that was what it was for, because I do that a lot. Especially when you buy like needle packs and it comes with all this stuff, and you're like, I'll put it aside, and when I'm ready to learn what it is, what it does, then I will do that. But I have so much stuff that I don't even know what it does. We'll have to make a video of me trying to figure it out. So I'm just tying off the end so that the thread doesn't go all the way through and I don't lose the tail, because that's super important that you don't lose the tail. So I'm just going to thread one bit first, and then I'm going to thread the other one on top, just to make sure that it is secure on there first. So I'm doing it just so that you can't actually see it on top, because you don't want that. You don't want to see it on the top. or else it's a bit obvious how it's been attached. So I'm just threading that through. Sorry if it is a bit dark. I do have the window open today. That's the joys of doing lives during the day and not at night time. I don't need to use my half broken ring light. It's actually the second ring light I've gotten from Kmart and it's broken. So it's either user error, it's probably me, or it might just be Kmart products. But if you guys know anywhere else that do a really good ring light, please let me know. That's affordable, not like $100 ring light. I don't need one that's like that, just a small one. Just so you can see my face or see what I'm doing. Just because this other one's frustrating me quite a bit, so I need a new one. So I'm just pulling that through, and I'm not pulling it through too much that it's going to have the tail come through, just in case, because sometimes the knots aren't big enough, and it can come through anyway, which does happen. It's quite frustrating. So what have you guys been up to today? It's a little bit cloudy here in Perth. It was sunny when I first woke up and I was like, oh, it's a great day, let's do stuff, and then it started raining. It's a bit like England, I suppose. My husband's English, so he says that the weather there is kind of like this. It's kind of rainy and then a little bit of sun and then rainy again. That's the English summer, which I would love. Perfect. So that's attached. I've just gone through it a few times, and you do a pull test as well, because that's super important, especially because this is a dog bow and the dog may try and scratch it off. So it has moved a little bit, so I'm just going to put a little bit more through. See, that's why it's always good that you check first. Don't know about you, but I have a big buffy dog and he would absolutely try and scratch a bow off if I try to put one on him. I tried dressing him up as a puppy with the little Kmart outfits that you get for dogs. He wasn't a fan. I think it was a bee and then a crocodile at one point, and he did not like it. But this is super cute. I hope that she loves it. There we go. So I'm just going to pull it again, see if it moves. No, beautiful. So now I'm just going to attach the other side so that these end bits aren't coming through. I'm going to put it against like that, so it makes a ring. You can expand it over too, which is awesome. Now, something I should have done, so I learned from my mistakes here, is this little bit here. I should have used a lighter just to melt it down, but that's okay. I will figure out something to fix that in a minute, because my brain is always, if you're a crafter, your brain is always turned on. It's crazy. You're always coming up with new ideas. Maybe it's just me. If it is just me, then don't worry. But if you're a crafter and that happens to you, you're not alone. So I'm just going to pull that through, that needle. So it is a bit harder with the 2 layers of elastic, just because it is quite a thick elastic that's going on here. And I wanted to use a thick one so it's more durable, longer lasting, and it has that little bit more stretch to it. So it's quite a chunky one, which I love. I love this one. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Yeah, the needle's not liking the double elastic on this one. So I'm just pulling that needle through. It's chucking a bit of a hissy at me. I've got not oily fingers, but they're not exactly the driest fingers. It's a bit like your skin when you wake up from a nap. It's like that weird, like you've just freshly moisturized. There we go. Beautiful. So I'll go over it a few more times just because I really don't want it to break. Because dogs can get quite rough when, get it rough. Can get quite rough when they have accessories on, depending on the dog. Some dogs are completely fine. They love it. They love getting dressed up. Probably need to dry my hands on something. So there's some things that are just better if you hand sew it and not machine sew. I hate hand sewing. There we go. but it's good. You can take your time, perfect it, you have more control, which I think is important, than if you were using a sewing machine. Some things I have really good practice on and I can sew so fast, so fast, but some things it's better to just take your time, get it right. Oh, that only went through one layer. That would be useless if I sewed that. There we go. And I'm going to show you guys too, we're going to use the labels for the first time for the scrunchies. So we're going to do that on live as well. Beautiful. Do a little stretch test. Okay, so I just need to sew a little bit more. It's just getting a little bit fussy. So I'm just sewing an elastic to a bow, anyone that's just come in, for my friend's dog. She's got a scrunchie and she's requested that I make a bow for her dog so they can be matching, which is super cute. Love that idea. I wish I had a girl dog so I could do that. I have a cat, but she would kill me if I did this to her. She's very fussy. She owns the house. Beautiful. So I'm just finishing this up, just making sure that it is definitely attached. If you guys have any questions as well, you're more than welcome to ask, like what other stuff we make. Love to show you guys what we make. So the thread has actually gone around one of the bows, so I've got to pull that back. Do it with my hand because the needle's just trying to go in. Or if there's any more stuff that you guys would like to see on here as well. So there we go. Sorry, I was just changing that. So you may notice my glasses when the sun comes out gets a bit dark. They're transitional glasses. Just because it helps me a bit. The sunlight does give me a bit of migraine, so a little bit like a vampire. But they're awesome when you're driving and you get out of the car. You don't have to swap your glasses over. And these are new as well. I never used to have glasses. Hello. I never used to have glasses, but I had migraines and it was like, oh. And then I got a jab and something happened with my vision and I had to go see the eye doctor and they're like, oh, you're fine. Like after the jab, it's just, you actually can't see that great. So I had to get some glasses anyway, which was really good because I had kind of been putting off the optometrist. So it was a good excuse to get in and get seen. Now I've got to try and get into the dentist. Right, now I'm just going to tie this off because it has been sewn quite on. So we are going to tie that off. If you guys do want to see more videos on like basic sewing as well, let me know. So I'm from Perth, Australia, Western Australia. So I'm East Perth, so very close to the city. But I have lived in Perth my whole life, so I need to get out a bit more. Oops, someone's going to walk past and my dog's probably going to bark, so I apologise in advance. If you do hear him, he barks at everyone. He's not a big Posty fan either, but he's a big sook. No, he didn't bark, he must be asleep. So we're just going to cut up all the loose ends here, make it look really pretty. Now with this, just going to cut it because you can see a bit of the loose bits on there and I don't want that. I want it to be nice and crisp and clean. Just all the loose threads. It's always best to just sit there and look everything over. Now I'm going to test try this again. Perfect. So it's not moving at all. So that's really good. So when that goes on the dog collar, it will be like this. So you will see a little bit here. But with the Velcro, like I said, if I just put Velcro on it, it would have to be a certain size and I don't know what collar size she's going for. So this is a good size, this elastic. And if she ever needs it smaller, again, you can just hand sew. It's quite an easy fix as well. So we've got the two bows. This one's the one for the puppy now with the Velcro. and that's the same fabric. And then this one is for when she's bigger. This was my test run. I accidentally made it too big, so then I made the other one, so she gets two. And this is an elastic one, and the collar just goes through. And then she's ordered the scrunchie, so this is all the same material, so it all matches, which is super awesome. And we need to put a tag on this. Now, I've never put a tag on something before, so this is an absolute first for me. So if I stuff it up, apologies, but we all learn. Now I'm just going to cut it so it's on a roll. I'm going to use my fabric scissors because this is fabric. There we go. Beautiful. So just cut that off, and it's got little lines where you cut. It's not pre-cut, but that's fine, we don't mind. And that's the label there, and we're just going to fold it in half and then stick it on, and it will look like it's like a store board or something. But a lot of small businesses I've seen on TikToks, because I do float around and see everyone. So if you have a small business, let me know and I will follow you, or just let me know and I'll follow you anyway if you want to keep up to date with everything. We do have the same shirt. Awesome. Big W. I think could be Big W, I'm not too sure. Yeah, Big W. This is the shirt I wear either when I'm sleeping or just having a chill day at home. Sometimes I wear it to the shops. Honestly, being a mum, you can wear whatever you want now. I don't think people will even judge you if you wear pajamas out. Beautiful. So we've cut our first one off, and I'm just going to put this back on the roll if I can, so it doesn't come in. Yeah, beautiful. So I got these off eBay, off of 4 Bling, I believe it was. Let's have a look. 2 Bling. See, I'm doing math in my head. 2 Bling, off eBay, and I got 400 of them. And they had different colors as well, so super awesome. Big shout out to whoever made it as well. She talked to me the whole time through the design process, which I think is super important. Now, what I was going to do, I don't think I can put them on the bows, but that's okay, because I've already sewn the bows up. But the scrunchie is going to have one. And if you buy from our shop as well and you decide you don't want to tag, let me know and I can always take it off for you. It's just there so you know where we got it from, or where you got it from, and that it is handmade by us, which I think is super important, especially in Australia right now, that you have handmade products and support other people's creativity. If you are looking for stuff like this, our website is in the bio. We don't have the bows up yet, just because this was a customization request, so you're more than welcome to message me if you want a customization, and I can get some prices through to you. I only charged Carlisha for the price of 2 scrunchies, just because it's about the same amount of fabric, believe it or not. Yeah, the tags, I know, they're so cute. It is coming undone, but I will use my lighter to do that, so I'll show you guys that in a minute. I'm just going to sew the elastics. I noticed that you are a custom shop too. Do you do tags as well, or what do you make? Because now I'm curious. What is it that you make? That would be awesome. So I will just bring my camera down so you guys can see my machine. Alright. You can probably hear my dog barking. That was a car going past. It wasn't even a person. So just so you guys could see what it is going on. If you have any questions about the sewing machine as well, it does, doesn't it? It's really good. I've seen other people use them, and it took a bit of convincing to get them. But because when you're in a partnership, you're going to ask the other partner, like, hey, I've got this cool idea, can we do this? And you've got to discuss it. And my partner is my husband, so it's pretty easy to convince him. He's probably listening to me now. Oh, wow. So you work with vinyl too? I do as well. That's awesome. I will have to have a look at your page and see what it is that you make, which I will do after this. Sorry, I'm just closing the foot down. There we go. That's awesome. I'd love to see your stuff after this. Okay, so what we're doing, I do have a zigzag stitch on. Sorry if you can't hear me. I do have a zigzag stitch on, and that's just going to bring the elastic together while still allowing it to stretch, because if you do the straight one, it's not as stretchy, but it still does stretch and it holds really well. But the zigzag still, it's probably the best stitch to use. So I'm just stitching just the elastics together. Beautiful. And before you sew it up completely, do a stretch test. It doesn't have to be the prettiest thing either. You're not going to see it. So you just give it a bit of a stretch. See if it works. Yep, works well. And then we are just going to pull the scrunchie around it. Like that. Just make sure it's all, there's no loose bits, anything else going on. No, looks perfect. So that's that one. And we are going to sew the little hole. Where is it? If you want to see how I sew these scrunchies so I only have a little hole as well, let me know and I'll do a tutorial. I think my light's off. Hang on. Let me turn my light on. Because it is cloudy here, so it is a bit hard to see. Now, I might use a pin. If you're a pro, you probably don't need pins, but just because I've not done this before, I'm going to need a pin. So, I'm going to get my lighter here. If I can find it. I think it's super important when you're sewing to have a lighter on you, just because of loose thread ends as well. Will need to be cut, and it's really good to seal them. If you have a certain name of scissors, I forgot the name, but the zigzag ones, these ones, you can do that as well. That stops fabric from fraying. But I'm going to see how my lighter reacts to it. This just seals it so it frays a lot less, and it doesn't have to be on there. I don't know if you guys can see, but just close to it, just enough for the edge to melt a little bit so it doesn't fray. Beautiful. And we're just going to do the other side. So that's actually really neat line there. It's a bit of a skewish line because of how I've cut it, but again, you're not going to see it. And we're just going to do the other side. So it doesn't need to touch it, it just needs the heat coming off it on the side. Beautiful. And it's super important to have a lighter in there in your craft room as well, so when you have candles on you can just put them on straight away. Beautiful. So that's how it's going to look folded. Yes, this way of making the scrunchies, I think I learnt when it was a very new technique a few years back. It could have been around for ages, but I didn't see a lot of people making them that way. So that's why I was like, oh, I want to try this way out. And it is a lot better because it only leaves you with a very small gap, which is now perfect for the tags. So, let's get that tag in there. Oh wow, that looks so pretty. I don't know if I should pin it or not. Let's see how much room it gives me. Alright, okay. I don't think I need a pin. I think I got this. Alright. Wish me luck, guys. First time doing this. Oh no, it's not actually in anymore. Okay, I'm going to need a pin. Alrighty. I do have my pins away just because I try not to use them. But this is my first time doing this. And I don't want it to be half in, half out, because then it will look absolutely horrible. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to pin it. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like when it's done. How cute is that? I got an ivory, so it's a little off-white colour. Just because some of my fabrics are like florally, and I think it would look really nice with them. So I'm going to swap this over to a straight stitch, which is number 2. And I'm just going to adjust everything. Tension. I got to adjust everything back to the way it was for the first one. Okay. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to take the pin out now because it's just on top of it. I'm going to hold it with the other hand, the other finger. Beautiful. And I'm using the same colour thread so it matches with the scrunchie. Oh man, this is so pretty, guys. Alright, the moment of truth. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit because there's nothing worse than when you get a scrunchie and there is just all these loose ends. So you got to sit there and cut them off, and it's not what you want. Oh, and one here. Oh Wow, guys, that is actually really cute. So I'm just going to fluff it up a little bit. How cute is that? Oh, I can't see because the sun. Oh, that is really cute. Oh my goodness, Kalisha, I hope you love it. If you guys want to order anything, check out our website. It's in the bio. I'm just going to refresh the screen just to make sure that there's no orders, because sometimes they don't come through unless I refresh it. Thank you. I think it's really pretty too. Now I want one. Oh no, I'm going to have all my scrunchies now. So I usually do keep some that I make anyway. Beautiful. So there's no more orders, but that's fine. That's cool. I love chatting with you guys and showing you stuff. So that is how it's come out. A little bit of fluff there. We're just going to fluff it out. Oh, that is so cute. I can't even. I'm so excited. Right, let's package that up for Kalisha. So we got some of these bad boys. I have them in like almost every size just to be safe. So let's pop them in, and we've got some goodies as well to put in. Oh, look at that. That is such a cute matching set. Oh, I'm in love. Right. Now, I can't really show you guys. Maybe if I tilt it. I have all this stuff. I have pins. I have scrunchies up here. I have washi tapes. The washi tapes aren't online yet because I'm making a collection and then I'm going to start selling them. But this is the normal stickers that I have, that I make myself, and I just pop them in there. This one says just a fish out of water, which I love this one. I do also have a window cling here. I have quite a few window clings. So this one creates a rainbow when you put it on your window. These, we do have other designs for sale. I don't have the butterfly ones up yet, just because I only made them yesterday, but they will be up soon. So these, you stick them on your window, and when it's in direct sunlight, it makes a rainbow on your wall. So these are really cool, but I do have other designs on our website. And then I'm going to put this one in as well. This is a Triceratops, and Kalisha, I'm pretty sure, works in childcare, so that would be pretty awesome. Like, you have to like dinosaurs if you work in childcare, I reckon. So that's a dinosaur one. Again, it creates a rainbow. It's a window cling. These ones aren't on our website yet, but there's other designs on there, the feminism ones. So I'm going to put this one back and bring you guys back to me so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to put that in there for her. Took this around. Okay, so the sun's coming out now. I don't know if you'll be able to see the rainbows that come through. It's really pretty. So there's actually rainbows on my sewing machine from this. So it's really cool. I have the other ones on my window sometimes. But I do take photos of them. So I have to pull them down, which I just did the other day. And I've got to put them back up again because I got 2 little kids and they love the rainbows. So we are going to do that one. And we have a thank you card with a code for next time, which I can't show you guys, but you guys have a TikTok code anyway in the bio that you can use. So we'll put that one in there. Oh, I just showed you. That's fine. Beautiful. So we are going to seal this. I always have such trouble because it's pretty staticky, these things. They always stick to my bloody hands. Yeah, see, I'm not even... Beautiful. So we're going to close that up. And this one gets shipped off same day. So it was last night that she ordered. And I messaged her and said, hey, is it alright if I make it tomorrow and I'll make a video about it? So this is the video. All our videos do go on YouTube as well. So if you've ordered something and you want to look over it again, have a little bit of a squiz on how everything's made, you're more than welcome to. Washi tapes. Now, I reckon... maybe something bright. I like bananas. And Kalisha is a very bright person. So I'm going to put the bright colour banana one on there. Beautiful. Got to add those little personal touches when you're a small business. Get that person their serotonin boost, as I like to say. So we'll just seal that off. Look at that. Bananas. Go bananas, Kalisha. Beautiful. So that one's done. And we are going to put it in a package. Where is my packages? Here they are. Now, this one won't fit in that size. So, I'm going to go into this drawer. I have so many drawers. And if you're a crafty person, you'll know what I mean. There's just always so many drawers. And I'm always chopping and changing them. So, I think I put it in this one. Yes, I did. So I use these ones. These ones are from Officeworks. I got them when they were going, like, changing the packaging. Again, sorry if my voice is a bit weird. I just woke up not long ago. Because I have kids and they're at daycare, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to sleep while they're not here. And I slept until like 12:40, so I obviously need the sleep. So that was a pretty good feeling. These ones I think were $3 for a pack of 5, which is still pretty cheap. They're pretty durable as well. So let's put that in there for Felicia. This will get sent off today as well, when I go pick up the kids from daycare, because the daycare is very close to the post box. I would walk if it was sunny, but there is a lot of rain clouds and it's been a bit fussy at the moment, the weather. So the air's not really stayed out of it. So I'll do that, squish it down. I have had some people tell me that their packages are being delivered with a weird sticker on it, saying that I haven't paid enough for it. So I'm just making sure that they're extra stuck down, because I think they're just getting too much air in, because the weight's fine, it's just the size, and I do measure all of them, so I know. Yeah, I love a sleep-in too. We do have the kids tomorrow, but my husband's home, so it's going to be fun to see who gets to sleep in. But look how skinny I made that. That's pretty cool. I love that. But again, I'm going to have to tape it so that the air does stay out, because now I'm going to make sure that it definitely does stay out, because the post office is chucking a tanty. Even though I know it's the correct size, it's just the air that goes into it, which is super frustrating. So, I might see if I have some see-through tape here. Yes, I do. And then I can put my washi tape over the top, just so it still looks nice. What was that? So it still looks nice, and it is nice and sealed. Also, it's good for the weather, because the weather is, like I said, it's very on-off. I just put my scissors on there to weigh everything down. So, let's put some tape on there. Make sure it's all sealed. Oh my goodness. There we go. All sealed, no water, no air coming in. Beautiful. So it looks a bit plain, a little bit naked, but that's alright, we're going to do it up. Right. I'm just seeing if the air goes back in, because then I'll need to tape it again. It's holding up pretty well, guys. So, we're going to put washi tape again on the outside. This one I might do a floral one. Again, I love floral. And obviously Kelly, she does, because she ordered the floral scrunchies. So, we'll make it nice and pretty. And I'm obsessed with washi tape, guys. Like, honestly, I have so much washi tape. Beautiful. So, it's still holding on. So, we just put some washi tape on there. Washi tape's a really affordable way as well, and it's really a nice touch to add as well. Now, I have these stickers I made. My printer is a bit off, so they're not completely centered, but they say your serotonin boost has arrived. So when you open it, because people love that, that's probably one of the main reasons people buy from small businesses, is all the little personal touches. It gives you that extra boost, which is really important when you receive something. You want it to feel like it's made for you. I do have the address labels. Again, my printer was a bit off, so the sunflowers are a bit off, but I'll put one on. Actually, no, I will write your address down and stuff, and then I'll put it on. So I'll put that aside. I won't do that on camera, just because knowing my luck, I accidentally show people. But we are going to make some more stuff. So Let me just get organised here. It's a very narrow desk. I can't complain, it still does its job. Okay, this rubbish builds up so fast. Now I've left my water bottle out there, so everything goes in the bin. What do you guys like making as well? Like, what's your favourite thing to make? Like, even if no one buys it, like, what's your favourite thing to make? What makes your heart happy? Mine would definitely have to be the flannelette reusable wipes, just because I use my overlocker, and it's so fast, so simple to do. Oh, my screen's turning off. I've only sold a few so far, but we've all got to start somewhere. So that's my favourite thing to make. If you guys have something you love to buy or make, let me know. That would be awesome. Ah, my neighbours are home. Sorry, I just heard the car door. So, just seeing if there's any more orders. There's none, but that's alright. I love talking to you guys and showing you guys. It just means more time to show you guys what we can make, which is a must. So, I'm going to move that over to there where my other packages are. Okay, just cleaning this up a little bit because I have every machine, almost every machine I own on this desk right now. So, are you guys excited for tax time as well, or the money coming back, buy new stuff? Beautiful. So, I'm just checking out my list that I have for today because I have the worst memory since having kids. It's absolutely horrible. I am located in Perth, Western Australia. So I'm like just east of Perth. So I didn't finish these from last night, and there's quite a few new people on here I can see. So we're going to make these again. Now what we did is we made them into a D20. So that was Dungeons and Dragons, which is new on Stranger Things. Oh, they bring it up. Oh, tax is done. Money's gone. That's the way to do it. Honestly, I'm the worst person at saving. We looked at our household budget and we were like, we were meant to have like $400 spare. Where has it all gone? And then it's like, oh, we bought all this stuff for the business. And it's like, oh, that's why we have a business bank account for this reason. But it's our first year doing the business tax because it's our first year of having a business. Because it was counted as a hobby before, but now we're getting more serious, building a website. We were on Etsy. We left Etsy for a website because of fees. So it just means that we're more obligated to bring in the traffic if we want to make sales, which is what we've been trying to do. But it's all a lesson, all super fun stuff. I'll just tilt you down so you can see. Sorry, the sunlight's really harsh right now. Give it a few minutes and a cloud will go over. So we're going to cut it out. I've taken last night I took the main part of the vinyl that goes around it off. But today we're going to use our hook. I don't know the real name. I think it's like a weaning tool, and there's little bits of vinyl on there. It just means that it's been well loved. If ever you notice these are going blunt, just get some aluminium foil and just stab it into it. Same with your blades. Just stab it into that aluminium foil and it'll be sharpened again. That's what I do. I will probably need a new one soon, just because I've had this one for a while, and it's starting to not get as sharp when I try and sharpen it. So we're just using this tool to remove the vinyl that is in the gaps. The smaller the piece of vinyl, the more you want to just irritate it and not stab it. So the one here is coming up with it, so I'm going to use the tool to just press that down. There we go, so it stays. I don't have a weeding ring thing that most people have, just because I have very big fingers, and I don't think they would fit me. So I'm just irritating the inside of the 8 here, just to get that piece of vinyl off. I'm not stabbing into it, because what happens when you stab into it, and it's a very small piece, is you can accidentally slip, and it happens to everyone. You can accidentally slip into the piece that you're trying to keep, and it kind of warps it, and that's when you get air bubbles. So you don't want that. So bigger pieces you can stab and kind of lift up, but the smaller pieces you just irritate by pushing it over the top. This one has a 1 as well. I don't know why it's just the 1s, but they always want to come up with the sticker. So I just hold that down with that. And then I just irritate these little bits around it inside the 10. Just get that out there. I think the main thing when you're working with vinyl is trying your hardest not to get air bubbles. Like air bubbles or dirt stuck under the vinyl as well, which then again creates an air bubble. It's absolutely horrible. So I did these the other night. I did show on our live last night, which is now on our YouTube, how like a bit more of a slower process. So if you're interested, there's some tips and tricks on there as well of working with the Cricut. It is our first time uploading to YouTube, so if it's a bit funny, let us know. Just because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just trying my absolute hardest, which I think is all you can do, and just learn along the way. So let me comment. A weeding bracelet. What? If you have a video, can you tag me? That would be awesome. I need a weeding bracelet. I've never heard of them. That's actually really cool. I wonder what they look like now. So I'm just being super delicate there, because that one again has a 1 and the 1s always come up. I still don't know why. So this vinyl I'm using is Metamark. This is a premium outdoor one, so these can go on your car. They have a 5-year life on them before they like start fading and coming off. But if they're indoors, I'm pretty sure they last up to like 7 years, as long as it's not like, if it's within like all the harsh like weather or near water and stuff, then obviously it will be like the 5 years. But if it's just going on your laptop or on a tool that you have, or just anything really that's not near water or outside, then it's got a really good life on it, like 7 years. I think I heard someone say. Still yet to try that theory out, just because I haven't had it for 7 years, but that's okay. So I'm just stabbing that. That one's got a 1. Okay, the 1 stayed on that one. That one's good. Just irritate the 4, the inside of the 4. Again, you don't want to stab it in, because that will cause it to get air bubbles, and you can get a hole in the vinyl as well, that you are wanting to keep. And it's not as nice. You want it to be like a clean cut, nice and like straight. Oh, this one's being stubborn. Come here. Now this vinyl wants to muck up. It's probably because I'm half awake right now, but that's fine. I think I'm on autopilot every day. When I have kids, I'm living life on autopilot. But it's good when you have kids to get out and be creative. Definitely is really good for your mind, your soul. There we go. Because then you can feed you. There you go. So that's what it looks like. And we're going to use our transfer tape to put it on one of these. Now, I actually have a pretty cool trick to show you guys, if you don't already know. So if you just give me a minute, and I will get to that. What's that say? Metamark is your favourite. It's like scrunchy with a... Really? That's so cool. I'm gonna have to Google that. If you still know what lady it was on TikTok, please share it with me. Like message me or something, because that is so cool. I wonder if she couldn't wear the rings either. So what I'm doing is I'm still leaving it on my roll, and I'm just doing that to get the air bubbles out. And you lift it up still with the paper attached on the back. I do have the Cricut scissors. These scissors are very narrow, so it's good when your projects are very close together to cut. But I just use them on anything Cricut. Sometimes I use my fabric scissors, and then I'm like, oh crap. And then they're sticky when I use it on fabric, so I have to clean them. So they're really good to have as a separate scissors. So with this one, I actually don't use the Cricut scraper. I'll show you the difference. So this is the Cricut scraper, the one that I got in the pack with the tweezers and stuff. And if you can tell, at the bottom of the scraper, it's like a thin plastic, but it's very like scratchy, so it actually scratches the vinyl. It's very sharp. You can take chips out of it pretty easily. So I tend not to use this one. This one's like my backup one. What I use, and I get all my vinyl from Rainbow Vinyl Co. in Malaga and Carlisle, and you can get these as well. They're called a felt scraper, and it's just got like this felt on the end, and it makes it a lot softer, no scratching. And it does have this other sharper end if you do like find another use that you want to use that one on, or you can even get double-sided tape and some fabric and make that one the same. So this one's, I think, just the large one. They do extra large squeegee ones as well, but most of my products are pretty small, like the decals and the stickers, so I just thought I'd buy this one. So what we're going to do with the transfer tape on it is we're just going to give it a good rub, and you can tell when it's attached to things like the vinyl when there's an air bubble around what you're sticking it to. So that is how you know, and that air bubble's fine because that's just an air bubble between the vinyl and the transfer sheet, so that's completely fine. It's when there's a bubble between what you're putting it on and the vinyl that there's a problem and it won't stick properly. So we're going to do this. Now I do have quite a problem with MetaMark. See, this is what you could probably use the end for, is getting it off your desk. No, not having it. So the problem I have with MetaMark, so you're going to pull the whole thing off as well, sorry, you're going to take the paper off as well, put it upside down and then peel back. Now with MetaMark, what I have a problem with is the paper sticking to the vinyl. I thought it was just my blade, but someone commented the other night that theirs does it too with MetaMark. So if this gets stuck, I will show you how to remove the paper safely. I think I've got one that's going to get stuck, so I'm just going to flip it around and try from another angle as well. Sometimes you just got to go in on different angles, and it's just a lot better. Okay, some aren't sticking, and that's fine because I can show you guys what I do, but it is important to generally just get it to stick. Even if it's paper on the back, just get it to stick, because then you don't have to try and figure out where it goes, like realignment and stuff. Yeah, Sizer as well. Yeah, I use Sizer too. I use that one. I think it's Sizer Easy Weed, or like heat transfer vinyl. So I do have that one as well. I have almost every color. I think I bought out the vinyl shop. It did take a while to accumulate, but I have so many colors now. It's crazy. So I'm just peeling this off on different angles to get it all to come off, which has worked really well. So it's all on there, even if there is some paper on the back, that's fine. And with the MetaMark, because the backing is an off bluey white, you can see what ones on here do have the backing still on it. It is really important to make sure that the backing isn't on it when you transfer. 1, because it won't stick, and 2, it causes air bubbles, and 3, because if you try and pull it off and then put it back on, you can damage what you're putting it on, you can damage the vinyl, and you can have air bubbles, and you have to realign it. So it's just full of problems. It's safer to just remove the paper now and then put it on. There is no easier way to do it. So with this, you're not going to stab it because you don't want to damage the vinyl on here, so you're just going to irritate it, just like you did with the other ones, like the small pieces. So you're just going to irritate it just along the surface, and it will lift up all on its own. You can apply a little bit more pressure, just as long as you're not stabbing it in, because you will create holes, and it's not that pretty. So when it gets to a certain point, you can grab it with your fingers and pull it, and that will come off. Just not too hard, just because you may have the vinyl come off with it as well. So I'm going to try this one over here, and you can see when I'm going to irritate it, the numbers may move a little bit, so it's super important you just start off lightly and make sure that it is still sticking on there. So I'm just going to irritate it. This one's the number 1, which is, honestly, it's so troublesome, this number 1. It always has troubles transferring. It always has the paper stuck to it. You can also use tweezers, which I got in my Cricut pack. They're like surgical scissors. Tweezers, sorry, not scissors. Surgical tweezers. So they grab on, they're not your usual tweezers. But I just prefer to use this on my fingers. Sometimes if you do use your fingers or other tools, the vinyl can get stuck to it in the process. And it's super important that you do hold your, like I've got this stuck to my fingers, you can see, but it's super important that you don't put your fingers on the vinyl to hold it, because it will stick to your finger and it will be out of alignment. So just have it on the other, on just the transfer tape. So you got the number 4 out. Whoop, there we go. Beautiful. And we just got one left. So I'm just going to remove that. Hopefully I can get a better angle to show you guys this, because currently at the moment it's only on the bottom of the screen. I need another tripod. So I'm just irritating it. I'm not stabbing it, I'm just being patient. So patience is very important. There we go, and there is no backing attached to that. So that is ready to go straight on, either something that you want to put it on or a backing. So we've got backings here. Now the trick I want to show you guys is parchment paper or baking paper. Now this has a kind of waxy feel to it, so the vinyl will not stick to it, and that is awesome. That's great. That's what we want, because what we're going to use it for is we're going to use it like sketching paper basically. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put it down on top of this, and I'm going to attach like that. So there's a little bit of transfer tape at the top, and this is on there. It's not sticking at all. It won't stick. And then that allows us to move freely wherever we want. So I'm going to tilt this down. There we go. That's probably a better angle for you guys. So that allows us to move freely, and we can see through where it's going to be placed. So it's not properly stuck down. There we go. So we're just going to move it to where we want it to be. It's very... this one only has a very small space around the outside, which you will see in a minute. So it's very picky. So what you do is, with the little bit of transfer tape that's not on the parchment paper or baking paper, is you're going to stick it down to either your desk or the paper that the other stuff is on. You're going to lift this up. There we go. Remove your parchment paper or baking paper, and you can just stick that back down. Just nice and slowly. I like to do it with my finger, just rub it in, and look at that placement. I would not have been able to do that freehand. That is all because of the parchment paper being see-through and not attaching to the vinyl, that it has allowed me to do this. So I'm just going to rub it with my finger first, and then I'm going to do this with the scraper. I'm using the velvet, not the velvet side, sorry, the felt side. Just going to rub that in. And then it's really important that when you peel the transfer tape off, you peel it on a 90-degree angle. So basically back on itself like a wave, like this. And you can do it slowly, you can do it a little bit fast, all depending on your confidence level. And you just peel it off like that. And look at that, they all stuck on their own. And it's really important, just go over with your hand, because sometimes when you peel this off, it can lift it up a little bit. You do not want to use your scraper, because if you use your scraper, it may get caught on a corner or something and lift that up, and we don't want that. Now this does take 3 days to set, like the adhesive to fully get a strong hold on it. So it's really important that when you make these, you give it 3 days, and then when you sell them to people, you do tell them, if you're putting it on your car, make sure it doesn't get wet for 3 days, just because it will not stick for as long. And again, air bubbles, and once you get air bubbles, it's just, the damage is already done. It's going to get water damage. So with this, I'm going to cut this off, because when we do this one, and I use this tape, if this tape accidentally gets stuck on the vinyl that has been placed on here, again, the adhesive won't be as strong, and it will lift that vinyl up, and we don't want that. So we're going to cut that bit off. So that one's done. That can be added to the collection. These aren't on our website yet, but if you guys are interested, let me know, and I can give you a price and stuff. We're going to add it to our collection that we have here. So I did some last night. This one's actually 2 vinyl colours, and I got the Cricut to cut out one shape on 2 colours, because I was experimenting with it, and I thought, hey, that would be pretty cool. And the reason it's still got the transfer tape on it is because it is 2 different pieces of paper, as you'll see on the back, and the only thing holding it together, if the transfer tape wasn't there, is this white vinyl, and that if I took the transfer tape off, it would look horrible. So it's best to just leave it on there with the transfer tape, just because we don't want it to come off. We don't want air bubbles or anything like that. So that's our little collection. We will be adding these to our website soon. We'll be making some funky ones that are multicolored. It was just something I was experimenting with last night, and I did on the live, because some other people were curious as well. So I'm actually going to separate these 2. I do have more on this as well. I do have another blue. I have a blue and half pink one, which I will do next, so you guys can see exactly how I do that, because I have noticed there's a few Cricut people on here. And then pink, and this blue here actually has a little bit of turquoise at the bottom, just because I was experimenting with that as well. So we'll do that one as well. we'll put these solid blue ones aside. I can do those off camera, no problems. So we'll just do these again. I probably should have done these last night when I wasn't on live, so they were ready to go. But I think it's important to show new people that haven't seen the other lives just how to weed it. I think it's really important. So I'll just do this a little bit faster this time and hope that everything sticks. So with the bigger piece of vinyl, you can just stab it straight in, but the smaller ones, you only irritate it, or else it's going to stab into the other vinyl that you want to keep. And that will cause air bubbles. So I'm just peeling this off at a little bit faster pace so I can show you guys how to put it on the other one, on the half pink, half blue. So I'm just taking the main pieces of vinyl off, and then I'm going to go around and lift up all the smaller one. I find that this is a lot easier for me, so I don't have to like super concentrate and then just pull up and then super concentrate. It's just a lot, I find it a lot easier. Everyone's different, so if you find the other way better for you, some days it's one, some days it's the other, but this way I find a lot faster for me. So I can show you guys a lot faster how to transfer it onto 2 different colored vinyls with just one piece of white. So just doing this a bit quicker. You may notice that the sun has gone. We got some rain clouds again. It's a little bit darker. Apologies about that. I don't have my ring light out just because I prefer the natural sun to come in. And it does, the unnatural light does give me a little bit of a migraine, so it's a lot better for me to just do this during the day. We usually do our TikTok lives on Wednesday night, but I am trying to make this more of a regular thing because there's so many new people checking out what you can make with your Cricut, what you can sew, and the techniques that I find easier. So the inside of this 8, I'm just irritating it and moving it off the piece of paper so it's not on there anymore. We've got the inside of a 10. Again, I'm just irritating it, not trying to press down too hard so I don't lift up the other vinyl. Again, with this one, you can use your tweezers to pick it up, but I just prefer to just push it off and then attach it to my hand. Probably why I have no hand on this little knuckle here. Super good. Free waxing, I suppose. I should probably do it on my knuckles. I got those little blonde hairs on there, but they're fine. I mean, it's winter here in Perth, Australia, so they keep me warm. I won't even get started on my legs because, oh my goodness, when it's winter, and I think it's just like 3 months of maybe only shaving once or twice, just because it's too bloody cold. And I just made my husband deal with it. So, and track pants. Track pants are a must. I only wear jeans when I'm going out or I'm doing a live, just because I don't want to look too comfortable. But you'll probably eventually see me in track pants. The more I make these TikToks, the more I get comfortable with doing this in front of people. Still get quite nervous. If you guys have any techniques, I do know some breathing techniques, but to just kind of get into it. Beautiful. So, oh, look at that, waxed. Now, I finished this one, and if you notice all the edges are perfectly straight, there might be a few, you know, not so perfect ones, but that's all right. That's part of it. Just because we irritated the small bits and we hooked into the bigger bits to pull them off. Beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our transfer tape, which I have placed over here. You can use this, I use this big roll from Rainbow Vinyl Co. In Malaga and Carlisle, and it's really good. It's not as sticky as the Cricut brand, but if it's too sticky then it won't stick to what you're putting it on, so I find that this is perfect. I think this is either a medium or high tack, but I can use it about 3 times before it starts to not stick. So that's really good at if you're selling stuff, at keeping the cost down. So I'm just using my felt side of the scraper to just push this on, get all the air bubbles out. Again, how you can tell it's sticking, and I'll show you, is because it has air bubbles stuck around what you're sticking it to. I don't know if you can really see on there, but you can see it's all stuck down. Now, it's really important that when you pull the tape up, you pull the paper back in with it, because when you pull this off, you're going to pull it off with this part facing up. So just how it is now, You may get some paper stick to it. That's fine, because you can pull that off. It's better to have the paper stick to it than to pull it back and the vinyl not sticking to the transfer tape, because then you have to align it again yourself. And it's way too time consuming, and it's not going to be as perfect as it would be if you did it straight from the Cricut machine. So I'm just pulling these back slowly. Some do have the paper sticking to it, which again, it's fine, because I can just go around, use my hook or my tweezers and just irritate it. So you're going to irritate it again. So the backing is a light blue color, so I can see what has the backing still attached and what is just a plain sticker. So I'm going to get my hook again, and I'm not going to stab into it, because that will cause a hole and it will not look as nice and you'll get air bubbles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over it, and just a little bit of pressure, and just have lots of patience with this as well. You don't have to get it done super fast, and I'm just rubbing that, and then it can get to a part you can use your tweezers or your finger and you can just pull it off. So that's the paper backing that got stuck to it, and that's fine, because you can just, it's so easy to get off, and you don't want to leave it on there, because if it's left on there then it will not stick to your products. That's another one. And you really do want it to stick to your products, absolutely, 100%. So I'm just irritating these ones until it gives up. And it's really important that you don't put your hand on the vinyl when you're holding it and pulling it off, because the vinyl will stick to your fingers. And then you again have to realign it all, and it just doesn't look as nice as it would on the machine. And just be careful, sometimes you might need to push down with the tool if it's not sticking to the transfer tape properly or as much as you'd like. I've just done that because I'm irritating this one and I could see it was coming up. It's super important when you're irritating the paper backing that you just use less force first and then use more to see just how much it's stuck to the transfer tape, because if you use like a lot of force first, it may move. So it's really important to get a feel for it all, and using different angles. Become comfortable and give yourself permission to just use different angles. Take your time. You know, like even if you're a pro, I see people just take their time, because it's better to take your time than to rush it, because then you'll get an imperfect product. So that's done. And on the back there's no fluffy bits, there's no blue bits, so that means that this is all vinyl now. Now what we're going to do, the reason I left this on my sticky mat is so that the two colours don't separate. Now what we're going to do, I've got so much stuff on here. I've got my sewing machine, my laptop. Alright, we're just going to turn that, there we go, now you can see. Now, again, we're going to use our parchment paper so we can get that perfectly placed down. So what you're going to do is we're going to stick it on there, and this vinyl will not stick to this parchment paper. It's too waxy, which is perfect. It's like stencil paper. And we're going to leave a bit of transfer tape at the top, and we're just going to stick it down, and that allows us to move freely and to get it perfectly aligned. Now, because this one only has a very small gap, it makes it the perfect product to use this on, to get it right. And we're just going to, once it's done, you stick down the part that was sticking out. I'm just sticking it on the mat, and this other one here. This other one doesn't have vinyl on top of it. If it did, I would not stick the tape down because it will lift up the small pieces of vinyl. But because it's a big piece, I can stick it on there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lift this transfer tape up, and we're going to pull this parchment paper out of the way. Now, what's going to happen is we're slowly going to just place it down like this. And then I push out with my fingers just because I have more control that way first. And then we are going to use our scraper. Stuck underneath my mat, probably not helping. I'm going to use our scraper, just make sure it's all transferred. Sometimes when it's really cold, you do have to like go over it a few times, or use a hairdryer just to make sure that it is actually properly stuck down. Now with this one, when we lift this up, we're going to leave the transfer tape on top, so we're going to have to cut around it. The reason we do this is, like I said, with this one, with the transfer tape being on top, is because it's actually two different pieces of paper underneath, and the only thing holding it together is the white. So we're going to leave the transfer tape on there, and when you sell it with the transfer tape on top, so that when they take it, they can peel it off the two pieces of paper and it will still be attached to this transfer tape. That is really important. But before we do that, I like to peel it just to make sure it is stuck down, because if the customer gets it and it's not stuck down, then that's going to be a problem. So you just stick it down with your finger, because if you use your scraper and there's a little bit of vinyl sticking up, it will lift it up. So just go around with your finger. If there's any little bits that you notice, like this one's got a tiny bit of vinyl on there, which I'm just going to irritate with my nail to lift it off. And it's been quite stubborn here because it has stuck down. There we go, got it. Beautiful. So that's what it looks like, and that's 2 different pieces of paper. There is a very, very minuscule gap, and that's fine. That's, you're not going to get it perfect, more perfect than that. So we're going to put our transfer tape back on it, because when we sell this, it's going to be sold with the transfer tape attached. But now we know that the vinyl has stuck properly, and we're going to use our scissors. Now I can't lift this side up because there is a smaller like bit of color here attached to this one. We can lift this one up, so I'm just going to lift it up a little bit, and I'm just going to cut. I might use my other scissors, because these Cricut scissors sometimes don't want to work. Okay, I got my other scissors. A little bit sharper, a little bit better to use. There we go. Now this one is clear. The transfer tape just came off on its own. There's no bit stuck to that, so that's good. We can use that one later. Now for this side, what we're going to do is, this is going to be quite difficult, especially because transfer tape. So we're going to try and lift it up at the same time. Actually, I do have a tool for this. I have one of these. If you have one of these, use these. I completely forgot I had it. I actually always wondered what this tool was used for, and I think now I've just figured it out. So you're going to use that just to take it off the mat, because this is a sticky mat. It's not a cutting mat. It is a cutting mat, but it's a sticky cutting mat to use with the machine. Beautiful. So we're just going to cut there. Beautiful. So if you see there, there's only a very tiny gap, and you're always going to have that no matter what. Sometimes it just, the 2 pieces of paper just don't sit properly together, and that's okay. That's completely fine. This is the multicolored one. I've seen people do this with heat transfer vinyl as well, where they attach, like, put the multiple colors on the mat, and then they do one big cutout, and it's multicolored. It's really awesome. I learned from other TikTokers doing it, and I tried it last night. If you want to watch me trying it for the first time, it is on our YouTube under Sunflower and Wisp, if you wanted to check it out how we did. So that, and that's the other one. So it's kind of like a couples one there. Pretty cool. I love it. Beautiful. So that's those ones done. Now we're going to leave this one on our mat, just because it's got a bit of a different colour on there. And I think now we're going to switch over to some sewing, just to keep things rolling, so it's not too boring for you guys. So I'm just going to put everything away. The Cricut I use is the Cricut Maker, like the original Cricut Maker. So the one, I'll show you, with the golden lid. There is a Maker 3 out now, so I've never used the Maker 3, but this one is the one I'm familiar with. So if you guys have any problems or questions or anything like that you want to ask, let me know, because I would love to help you guys out. And if I don't know, we can ask other TikTokers and we can make a video and learn together. I think that that's really important, is learning to better ourselves. And you can see my messy house here. Learning together and learning off people. Now, I'm just putting this in the bin, sorry. I'm going to put all this other vinyl over here in one spot so I don't lose it, and I can do that later so I don't bore you guys with it. And I think it's time that we put some more labels on our scrunchies. And I can show you guys them as well. So I've got them on this massive belt. Again, the reason they're on the belt is because the elastics aren't sewn together, and that little hole I need to put the labels on. So we're going to do that today. We're going to put some labels on there. So I'm just trying to close the drawer of my Cricut Maker. There we go. It's having a bit of a hissy fit. I think machines just, they know it's Friday. They know. And they don't want it. They want the weekend. But little does this maker know I use it on the weekend as well. So let's just check if there's any more orders before we get making, just so I can see. If you want to order, it's in our bio as well. our link is there, and you can see all the things that we make, or you can check out our other TikToks as well and everything else that we make. Sorry, my laptop decided to turn itself off, which is annoying because then I have to put the password back in. And the reason we have a password is because our kids, our wonderful, wonderful kids, are into everything. And if you have little kids, I have a 2-year-old and an almost 1-year-old, they love technology. The phones, honestly, if you have kids, you got to have a protective case on it. My kids are obsessed with the Peppa Pig flip phones at the moment, the toy ones. And oh my God, they fought over it, so we had to buy more. We had to buy another one. And I made the great mistake of buying my friend one, and she has 3 kids to one Peppa Pig phone, so she had to buy more for her other kids. They're actually really cool. They're from Big W. I think they're like $12, $15. And they make noises and they ring on their own and stuff. And my son loves it. He can count the numbers and he can say the colours that are on the keys, which is awesome. So I'm just playing some music. There we go. Just to make it a little bit busier in here. No, there's no more orders. That's fine. We have just started off our business. There's only been like maybe 20 orders since having our own website instead of Etsy. The reason we left Etsy was because of the charges are a lot higher. We use a Square Up website, which is free for like the domain, and free for the basics. Everything else you can upgrade it, you can get your very own domain, but we just use Square Up, and the fees, I think like a $30 order is only about $1 in fees, which does help a lot, especially with your costs of goods, your profits, your turnovers, material costs, everything like that. I'm just gonna move that over there. So we have so many different scrunchies. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut these tags out. These aren't our only scrunchies. I had to make more because we sold out of a lot on our last Wednesday live. But I'm trying to make it more of a regular thing, these lives. So if you guys want to order now, I can actually make it on our live right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting out some tags. I thought that might be smarter than loading up the sewing machine, because you know, you got to have the tags to load it up. Why are you going blunt now? You were working a second ago. There we go. Beautiful. So if you guys make stuff, let me know what it is you make or what you enjoy making. And if you like buying stuff, tell me what you love buying. What is the best thing you have bought off a small business? Because I would love to know. I'm following a lot of small businesses on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and it's amazing to see what people make. I love watching their making videos, and I try to watch the lives when I can, just because I do have kids. They're out of daycare 4 days a week and they're in daycare for 3 days, so it gives me a bit of a break and I can run the business or catch up on sleep, or both. I usually run my business at night time. I pack orders, I do the lives on night time, but today I do have a lot to make, and I thought, since last night we did have a lot of questions on our live, I thought I'll make another live during the day. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do them on weekends, just because of my kids. They are very loud and they love knowing what mummy's doing. So I make them during the week when they're not here, or at night time when they're asleep. And sometimes they don't hear me, so you might hear a bit of squawking going on, because they don't cry, they don't scream, they squawk when they wake up, which is a bit funny to hear when you just wake up and you hear that and you're like, what the... So I'm just cutting out a few tags. This is a roll of 100. So I ordered 400 from 2Bling on eBay. She was wonderful. She messaged, I'm assuming it's a she. If I'm wrong, let me know. They messaged me asking, like, hey, is this design fine? Are you happy? And it was really good communication and really fast shipment. They're from New South Wales, I think it said on the package. Which is really good, because it's helping another local business, and it's faster shipping for us, which does help a lot when you have products that are ready to go out the door. So I'm just cutting these tags. They did have other designs too, where you could add like washing instructions, and like do not bleach, do not tumble dry. But I just got the basic ones, just because all my scrunchies are made from different from different materials. Oh, the business name was two bling, so the number 2 and then bling. I'll see if I have the piece of paper with their business name on it. Sorry if I sound a bit funny. I have a bit of a blocked nose because I just woke up. Here it is. Let me just get that for you. So it's 2. Oh, 2 bling. Yeah. And they're on eBay. And they were really good. They have different coloured tags. You can actually get red ones, black ones, pure white ones. I chose the ivory just because I don't want it to be too white. Yes, that's right. 2 bling. Sorry, 2 bling on eBay. Yeah. I'll send you the link as well if you can't find it. But their communication was absolutely spot on. Like, it was, you know, really great to have that. Really comforting, I think, because it was my first time ordering something customized on there for our business. But she was great. So I'm just cutting these out. They do come in the roll. I ordered 400 and they were, I think, $62, which can be quite cheap. I've seen some people make them on Etsy as well, but with the Etsy fees, I didn't really want to order through Etsy. I wanted it to be more that they get the profit, so I did it through eBay. But if you know somewhere that does them as well, let me know, because I would love to know. You know, I'm always looking at new ways and new things and ways to spruce up our stuff. Yes, I'll send you the link after. Yeah. Oh, I know, this ivory, it's perfect. It's like, it doesn't look like it's too new, but it looks like it is handmade. It's just got that handmade kind of colour on there. The off-white, I love it. I never even knew what the colour ivory was until I got married, and people were like, oh, this wedding dress is in ivory, it's not white. And I was like, what? It looks like white. No, ivory is like an off-white. It's like a creamy sandy white. So that's enough for now, I think. That'll do me good for a while. So I've just cut them. So they look like this, and I just fold it in half, and then I sew in the little gap, and it's just got our little, sorry, the sun chose to come through now. I'll see if I can make a shadow. Yeah, so it's just sunflower and wisp. So that's a nice little addition to add to our scrunchies. I do have these ones. I haven't sewn the elastics, so I will probably sew the elastics now. I just have to change over my thread. I've still got the brown thread. I do like to colour match, so I will be changing threads throughout. If you see me like moving back and forth with different coloured threads, that's why I'm colour matching. Some people don't colour match, and that's great, that's cool. I'm like super anal about it, so I like to make sure that it is colour matching. I do have brown scrunchies in here, so I will be using that colour again, but I just like to know where everything is. So we're going to use a blue for this one, because it's a blue mermaid one. These are all on our website now as well, if you guys want to have a look. I just have to find the matching thread. I have a whole box. Okay, so this is the matching thread. I don't actually have a lot of that colour left, so I'm going to have to buy more. Oh no, another trip to Spotlight. Wow, I said that too fast. Another trip to Spotlight. So we're just going to thread this up. So if you guys like making stuff, let me know as well what's the one thing that you love making. It doesn't matter if you sell a lot of it, like what's the one thing that you just love making. I'd love to know, because mine, I have so many I love making. The reusable flannelette wipes are my favourite, because I get to use the overlocker. And it's just a nice, like, I'll show you what it looks like compared to normal sewing. So it's got that nice finish, and that stops it from fraying. So that's what I mean by the overlocker stitch. And you can curve the edges as well, and it just looks so nice. These are our flannelette wipes. Hi! These are our flannelette wipes. They're all on our website. They come in a pack of 5 for $15, and they're free shipping at the moment, Australia-wide. Unfortunately, I don't know how much longer we'll be able to keep up the free shipping Australia-wide, just because we take, if you're a small business, you put the cost of it in your products, and we might have to do it like when you spend over $50, because the packages can get quite big quite fast. So luckily, because we're using the Square website, they do it by weight, so it automatically calculates it. Oh, you guys know each other. That's awesome. That's great. Welcome. I'm Christine. I don't think I've ever said my name on here before, but my name is Christine. I'm so glad that you guys know each other. That's awesome. Good little circle. Everyone's following everyone. That's awesome. I'm just seeing if there's any more orders. We've only had Carlisha's order today to make, and that's fine. That's great. We are just starting off our business. So if you guys want to check out our website as well, it's in our bio, and you can see all the things that we make. I am trying to be more on the live. I am trying to be more on the live so that you guys can see the behind the scenes, like the fun stuff, not the boring stuff like the paperwork and the tax and all that, because I mean, unless you're a small business and you want to see that, or you're just someone that's curious, let me know. Most of it I am still figuring out, like all the paperwork and stuff. So I'm going to do these elastics. What's this say? Oh, thank you. I want yours too. And your headbands. I love your headbands. I love them. I saw you had a big, it was either a big order or lots of orders come through. And I was watching that this morning when I woke up. TikTok's one of the first things I check when I wake up. Because I don't get notified for some reason. I've changed my settings. I might have to like delete the app and then re-download it. But then I think I lose my live video. So I'm not too sure about that. But we do have Facebook and Instagram, and I get notified on there. So if you guys have Facebook and Instagram too, let me know, because I would love to follow you guys. Oh, that's cool. Oh, good. I love it. I love your mermaid ones. I'm obsessed with mermaids. I love them. Mermaid stuff. I'm just stitching the elastic off to the side so I can still see what you guys are saying. I usually zigzag stitch because it's much better for the elastic, but doing this is just as fine. Like, it's not as stretchy. Yes, that's awesome. I'll follow you back. I love seeing your stuff. Honestly, it's like a little ray of sunshine just comes through when I see your stuff. It's all colourful and so boppy and bright. I love it. So because this is a stretchy fabric, it's like a dance fabric. So there is a good amount of stretch in it. But we have to use a special needle. So I've still got it attached actually, just because it's a pain to get the needles out. I use a stretch needle, which I had to learn the hard way that it's the needle you need to change to be able to sew on this. So using a stretch needle is really important. So if you like these fabrics and you find some, make sure you have a stretch needle for your machine, or else it skips, and it doesn't turn out as nice. So I'm going to pop this in, and then I'm going to get my needle. I did have a needle out. I don't know where it's gone. Somewhere. That's all right. I have a whole heap of needles. Actually, I think I may be able to hold it in. So that's how it looks with the tag. Pretty cool. I love it. I love how it looks. So I got those on eBay. Anyone that's just come in. I got a 400 pack from 2 Bling on eBay. Now I'm going to need a needle for this. Oh, there we go. Highly recommend her. They were $67 for a 400 pack. And she was really great with her communication. She was like, oh, how does this look? Do you want it like this way or that way? And it was really comforting knowing that it was being taken care of. And it was another Australian small business as well. The scrunchies, they are $7.50, I think. Give me a sec. I'll just double check because sometimes, yeah, $7.50. We have so many different designs. We've just had new designs come out as well, which is what I'm making now. Everything, all the scrunchies, they're handmade by me. So they all have like their own little uniqueness, personal touches and stuff. We do also have free shipping Australia-wide as well. My website is in the bio if you want to check it out. Some of our other stuff as well, you can see it being made on my TikToks or on the lives. Our lives are uploaded to YouTube as well. All the scrunchies are the same price. They're just a flat rate of $7.50. Just because, you know, it's much easier if you want to buy multiple ones and all that. So I'm just going to remove my needle now before I sew over it. I make that mistake too many times, especially I chose out like the wrong needle color because it matches the mermaid. So it's going to get lost. So I can't wait to show you guys what this looks like. Almost done. I'm just sewing that little gap. If you want to see how I make my scrunchies too, so it only has the little gap at the end, let me know. I can make a video or I can show you guys live as well and just tag you in it. Cool. So I'm just going to cut the threads. Beautiful. So make sure you're using a stretch needle as well for your machine when you're working with this kind of material. It's like a spandex dance material. So how pretty is that? So that has our name on it. And if customers don't want it on there, they can also let me know and I can make ones without it. No problems at all. Or you can just cut it off. Like it's no problem. But I've been, oh, they look so good. I can't even. So that's one done. I have so many scrunchies now because we sold out before. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. Someone's walking past and apparently it's something to bark about. So I use the washi tape containers that they come in from Kmart. I actually use them as a scrunchie holder, and that's awesome because if you do markets and displays, you can actually put fairy lights inside or like petals or whatever you want, or you can just leave it like that. I found that it works perfectly, especially because I'm using 8-inch elastics. So all the elastics in here are 8 inches and they're perfect for thick hair as well. Like there's a good, this one's a cotton one and these are actually the same size fabrics cut out. It's just this one's like a stretchy one and this one's a Harry Potter one and that's 8-inch elastic. So look at that. That is perfect. I use them in my hair all the time. I have a nice little collection. So I'm just going to add it back on here. Now these ones don't have the tags on it, but that's fine. I've only made a few of them. So I'm just going to put these back on here. Sorry, someone's walking around the neighbourhood if you can hear my dog. Trust me, he's not that scary. Hey, it's just the lady walking around doing the newspapers. So this is our first scrunchie with a label on it. Well, the one I made for Kalisha. This is our first one that's for sale that has one on there. So I'm just going to put that there. But yeah, and you just masking tape these two together. Or 3 or however many. And they're really good for scrunchies. They don't fall off as easily. And just because it's so hard to find something that you can use to put the scrunchies on. And it's super frustrating. This one is our new Rainbow Mermaid one. It's not on our website yet just because I've got to sew it up and I've been making a lot of live TikToks because I've noticed you guys like to see what goes on behind the scenes, which I think is awesome. So if you have any questions too, let me know. Like what machine or anything like that. I use a Brother machine. And I buy most of my fabrics from Spotlight as well if you're curious about that. Just because Spotlight is kind of, it's like a Coles and Woolies but in the craft shop here in Australia. And I'm in WA, and I live about 5 minutes away from the Spotlight. So there's also another one called Big Bubble, which is in Midvale, I believe it is. Not Midland, it's just out of Midland. And they have everything. Like they're my backup go-to store. But they have a lot of essential oils. They have candle making, soap making, sewing, quilting. Some things there I find are cheaper than buying at Spotlight, and some things I find are a bit more expensive. So it's all about the research, and they don't have an online website with the products, so it's very hard to compare. You have to go in, and of course you can't leave without spending money because, oh my god, it's a craft store. So I'm just going to sew the elastics on this one. I like to do rows back and forth a few times just because, especially with thick hair, elastics can break easily. If you've had a scrunchie and you bought it like from Kmart or something like that, they can break quite easily after a few uses when you have thick hair. So I like to make sure that they are very sturdy. And I test try these all out by myself as well. Like I have most of these scrunchies for myself. I do like to swap them around. Some of them I put in the washing machine, some I can't, like these ones, the dance spandex ones, you can't wash just because of the colour will fade, and it doesn't look as nice once the colour's faded. So it's really important. What have I done here? It's really important to just hand wash it or wash it when you're in the shower and hang it up to dry and make sure that it is getting aired out, because you don't want mold to build up in there. That's like the worst thing. I tend to wear I used to wear my scrunchies until they smelled funny and then I throw them out, and I didn't even think to wash them. So it's important to wash your scrunchies. It's in your hair oil all day. It can put up quite a smell. So make sure that you wash your scrunchies, guys. Super important for your health. And if you love that scrunchie, super important for the scrunchie. So I'm going to sew this tag on. The thing that I was worried about was how this tag would look on these mermaid scrunchies, but they actually look pretty cool. I wasn't sure if I should get a coloured one, like a coloured tag or something. But the white, it's honestly perfect for everything. Oh, there's a dog on the loose outside. My dog's going to bark again. So, just seeing if there's any more orders. Probably weird to look in and see me talking to a phone. That's fine. I think these guys are used to it at the moment. It's nice to have your sewing room at the front of the house. You can see everything that's going on. Okay, let's sew into this one. It's having a bit of trouble. Plus the sun shines through this window, and it's really nice with the rainbow window clings that we have on our website as well. If you notice, some of the pictures I take it outside just because it's much nicer to take it outside in the sun. It's so beautiful some days here, and then some days it's just rain, which is also beautiful. It's all beautiful. The weather here, I love it. Except summertime, I like the cold. So I'm just doing this hole. I've noticed that the hole on this one has stretched a bit bigger than I would like. So that's something, I think I did try to make this scrunchie with the normal needle. That's why it's turned out a little bit funky. So I'm just going back over it a little bit, the part that isn't sewn up properly. And these things happen. That's the thing with handmade products, is they're all unique. They all have a story. They're all made with love. It's either a learning experience, or we fully know what we're doing, or sometimes it's just, you know, every little piece means something to us. And I don't know if people realize that when they buy stuff from small businesses, just how much pride and love we put into our products. Just sewing this hole up. It did get quite large just because I used my old needle on it last time, and the stitching did come undone, but that's okay. I might use this as a free one just because of how big the hole was, but that has done perfectly. Now I've used the same blue thread as the other one just because it's actually blue as well on the outside of this, so it blends in really nicely. So let's see how this looks once it's all fluffed up. Beautiful. So you can see there that I did have to stitch quite a bit larger than the gap here, but that's okay. We all make scrunchies different. So this one will probably be a freebie. I'll probably make a competition for it just because it is that little bit extra unique. And that's the joys of when you make stuff. If something's just not as perfect as you'd like, put it as a freebie. Trust me, people love it. So plus you can fluff it so that it's on the inside as well, so you can't really see it, which is also another good way of wearing them. Plus when you wear scrunchies, you're not going to notice because it's in your hair. So but yeah, that one looks so cute. It's actually got different colours. It's got like red, pink, blue, purple, green, blue, a little bit of yellow, orange. So I love this one. Oh, my neighbour's saying hello. So, just putting this on this one. Beautiful. So this is going to be very full. I'm not going to have enough to fit all these scrunchies on. So if you guys want to buy some scrunchies, order some so I can make them on camera for you guys. And I have room on this. So I'm going to make a new one for this one. So look at that. It's perfect fold in it, and that can go upside down. You can hang it with that. It does slide off a little bit with this material, but the cotton usually stays. So you can actually hang it like that on your wall. You can like have it sticking out of your wall. You can actually cut this off as well. I've done that on some of them so that they're flat. Most of our scrunchies as well match with the pouches we've made and the makeup wipes that we've made as well, and they're all on our website. We make so much reusable stuff. So I'm just trying to find the hole for this one. It's hiding on me. We make a lot of stuff that is reusable, and you can use on babies as well. I have 2 sons, so it's really important to have stuff like that. We use our reusable wipes mostly around the house. When they're eating dinner or in the bath, they like to suck on them because one of them is teething and the other one just likes to have it in his mouth, I suppose. So I think they're really important, especially because they do have sensitive skin. I've used them a few times on myself in the shower, and I find that when I use the double cloth one, the burnt orange one. It's on our website, and I've used that, and I found that the smell of the soap actually sticks better to my skin than if I was just to put soap on, like liquid soap. So I think that's really good, because, you know, when you have a shower, you want to smell good. So I'm just sewing the elastics. And these threads are fine. Like, no one's going to see the inside of it, so you can just boop, go like that, make sure it's all in there. Give it a stretch test, because there's nothing worse. Thank you. Well, I hope you have a good day. If it's still daytime there, I'm not sure where you live, but I hope you have a good day. Make sure you do a scrunchie test. Or super important that you do that before you, like, you just fluff it up a little bit before you sell them, just so that you know that they are going to work the way that you intend for them to work. We're just going to get these little tags that we got. We have 400 of them. I can't believe I ordered 400, but it was cheaper to buy 400 than to buy lots of little lots, and I'm obsessed with saving. You wouldn't think if you looked at my budget that I was obsessed with saving, but I am. Like, if it's not on sale, it's not for sale. That's what I always say. Or if it's not cheap enough, like, I don't know. But that's what I always say. That's why we keep our prices down, because I look at our scrunchies and I'm like, oh my god, they're $7.50. That's so cheap. And it's good we can make it that price because of the low fees that we have, the low postage costs that we have at the moment in Australia. And that's why we can offer free shipping. So if you want to offer free shipping, especially on Etsy or your website, it's important that you take into account how much it would cost to shipping in your product, because you're going to have your cost of goods, you're going to have your fees, you're going to have your cost of goods is like materials, and then you're going to have the shipping as well. So if you want to include free shipping, make sure that it is in the cost of the goods, or else you're going to be losing money, and no one wants to lose money. So just sewing this one, get it sewed, because I'm sewing. Oh, I'm so funny today. So I'm just sewing over now the hole for this one isn't as big, which is awesome. We don't want it too big like the other one, but sometimes that does happen. Threads do come undone and you have to go back over it, but that's all part of the learning experience. You can learn from it, and that's the joy of small businesses and handmade stuff, is everything's unique. Everything is made with so much love and attention. Look at that. How cute is that? Well, there we go. So that's a sunflower and whisker. That's our business name. You can buy these off eBay. I bought mine off eBay. And gosh, there's just, I could look at them all day. So there we go. I could watch these all day. They are so cute. So I can put that with my other ones. We do have so many new designs on our website as well, guys. Like, there's, I think, probably about 10 new designs of scrunchies. just because we sold out last time and everyone's like, hey, do you have this, do you have that? And I'm like, no, but you know what, you're like the third person to ask me, so I may as well make that. Wow, it's 3:17 already. Go pick up my kids soon from daycare. So we do have this burgundy scrunchie as well. Oh, that's so good. This one is another mermaidy one. I love it. I called it mermaid oil, just because it looks like oil, but it's also very mermaidy, which I love. So we're going to take the elastic out and sew that together. Now I am going to have to change my thread, because I do like it to match. You don't have to for yours, but because I do like mine to match, I do like to change it over. So I'm just going to take that off. Super easy. It doesn't matter about what colour thread you use on the elastics though, just because no one's going to see it. As long as it's strong and holds, that's all that matters. So no one's going to see your elastics, guys, so don't stress. So there we go. Now I use 8-inch elastics on mine, just for people with thick hair or thin hair, like anyone can use it. It's great, it's got many uses. And I've seen a lot of other TikTokers using 8 inches as well, so it's kind of the universal one. But if you guys find that the 8-inch elastics don't work for you, let me know, because I would love to make you one that does fit you and that you are happy with. So we just put that elastic in there, do the stretch test. Beautiful. Now this one does have a lot of colours, so I'm going to struggle a little bit to find a colour that matches, but I'm thinking more of a light colour, maybe like an off blue. So just looking in my bobbin case here, I do have this off blue, and I think that that would actually go perfectly. Maybe an off purple. I don't know if I have an off purple or pink. So I do this a lot. Most of the time it's just me trying to figure out what threads would look great on it. No, I think the blue would look quite nice actually. Let me check. Now I've got to find the actual thread that goes with it, which is this one. I use all different kinds of brands. Some I buy from Ob Shop, some I buy from Spotlight, some are Birch, some come in value packs. Some are overlocker threads when they get really low, like this one. I might use them on my sewing machine, and it's actually probably cheaper to use an overlocker thread on your sewing machine because it comes in bulk. Like this one was 5,000 meters, I think it was 500 meters, no, 200 meters. This one's 200 meters, but the other ones that I do currently have on my overlocker so long, like it's going to take me a long time to get through it, which is good because then it's less trips back to Spotlight and I will probably save money. So we're going to put these ones back. I will have to keep changing it just because they are on this, so I will have to keep changing them around, but that's fine, I don't mind. So I'm just changing my bobbin over now. If you guys want to order anything on our website, please do, and I'll make it for you and you can see it be made, which I think is awesome. It's that extra little personal touch, isn't it? Beautiful. What are you guys doing today? It's Friday. I might do a TikTok tonight as well, just depending on if my kids go to sleep in time. Just threading that. Load the bobbin in. I own a Brother sewing machine. It's quite old, like not old, but like not 80s old, but just old. And I actually bought it while it was a little bit broken. Like there's a, if you notice on your machines, there's like a part that helps feed the fabric through. I only have one instead of two, just because it broke off. Oh, I've already sewn this one. Yeah. So wow, I have like the memory of a goldfish. I literally just sewed that. Yes, lost my train of thought. So let me know what you guys are making, if you're a small business watching this, or even if you're doing it for hobbies, or if you've got something awesome planned. If anyone has any awesome plans for the weekend, let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. Considering that this video has probably been recommended to you, we probably have something in common. So let's do this one. Now I am using my stretch needle because this is stretchy like dance fabric, spandexy fabric, so make sure that you have your stretch needle on, or else it will skip and it's just not as nice. Okay, let's see how that went with the blue. Oh, that actually came out really nice. So I'm going to cut that off. Oh. Okay, just cutting all the loose ends. There we go. How cute is that? Ah, that's super cute. Stretch test again, make sure that is actually really pretty. I love this extra touch of the tags. Honestly, everyone that's got tags on their work, thank you, because I've been watching you and it's really awesome. I might actually just take these off these and upload them later because they're not, they're all different types and I want to put them all together. And we have so many scrunchies to get through, guys. Like, that's only like 3 or 4 that we've just done. If you want to see stuff made on the Cricut as well, let me know. I do own a Cricut and I have been making stuff. So if you're interested in seeing that, a lot of our stuff is on the website as well. That you can see and order. We have so much new scrunchies. So these are actually all like pinned together just so I can find them, like sew them and then just attach the label instead of making them from scratch. So if someone orders, I can just sew this, put the label on and it's done. But at the moment I am just putting the labels on now because they've just come in today. Okay. It's always a pain trying to get the elastic just right. Because it is a bit fiddly and you have to drop the foot down on it. It's got to be perfectly on top of each other too. And I find it to be quite a pain. There we go. Beautiful. And I just go back and forth a few times just so it's extra strong. Beautiful. Ta-da! Now, stretch test. Make sure it's going to be perfect. It's going to get worn lots. And if there's extra thread, just cut it off. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to attach a little label. I am so happy about these, how they've turned out. You get to choose like your own font style, alignment, everything. Like, the lady was really sweet about it. Beautiful. There we go. Perfect. And then I just pin it. Where has my one pin gone? I noticed that if I have too many pins out, they will fall. And I don't want them to because I have kids that walk in here sometimes. And there would be nothing worse than hearing them scream because they stood on a needle. So that's why I only have one, in case you're wondering. I'm not poor, I just only have one out so I can make sure I can see where it is at all times. So we're just going to sew that gap. If you're new here, we're making scrunchies at the moment. We were using the Cricut machine earlier. But I thought I'd better get some scrunchies in because it is coming the weekend and people may start ordering them, which we're still picking up traffic. So if you guys have any pointers, let me know, because we're a small business. We just started May 30th, so basically 1.5 months we've been open. And we have a website. We don't sell on Etsy anymore just because of the fees and kind of the customer service from Etsy. Ooh, Yeah, they're not comfortable. I can tell you that for sure. I've noticed if I leave them out as well, my cat will, as cats do, they push everything off the desk, and I noticed that she does that. I've come in quite a few times and that's happened, so I've been like, nah, okay, I'll just use one needle whenever I sew, and I would just keep an eye on that needle. I did have a second one out, but I've lost it so fast. That's why I'm like, okay, I'll just use one for everything. And I only need one just to hold this tag to it as well. So thankfully, unless I was sewing like an outfit or something and I needed lots, I just need one for now. I do have one of those magnet things that do pick it up. But for some reason the magnet stopped working. Sounds like something out of an end of world movie where a magnet stops working and someone's like, oh no. I don't even know what movie would do that. Maybe Journey to the Center of the Earth. Not too sure. Oh no. Did you have to go to hospital for it? And get like a tetanus shot or something? Because I'd imagine they'd probably do that. I don't blame you for having that fear. That's a pretty good fear considering that you've stood on a needle before. Like it's pretty self-explanatory that you would have that fear. I'm not a big fan of needles either, just because like the sight of blood and stuff. Like I've given birth twice, and that freaked me out. Oh. Just trying to get this elastic under the foot. I'll see if I can bring it over. There we go. Now you guys can see it. Yes, that's probably what it is. Stranger Things, yeah, I noticed... Oh, okay, I won't do spoilers for the new one, but yes, I think you're right. I think it is from Stranger Things. Wow, I actually saw on Facebook the other day. Wasn't it like the first one came out 6 years ago? Like, I feel so old. So I was 20 when that came out. Makes me feel old. I still think I'm a teenager a little bit on the inside. So coming to the realization that I'm an adult and I have kids and responsibilities, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just going to buy more fabric and get creative and feel kiddish again. Oh, X-ray. Oh man. Sorry, I probably made you feel a bit older too, sorry. Oh, my bad. I forget that there's people older than me and I can't say I'm old. Sorry. Oh, so X-ray, wow. Man, I can't imagine that. I had a friend come over once and for some reason when I was a kid, I had one of those, it must have been for a diorama or something, but it had one of those skewers and it was chopped in half. So yeah, it must have been for a diorama for school. And she stood on it and I remember my mum had to take her to hospital and I never saw her again after that. I honestly don't blame her because who has half a skewer in their bedroom on their floor? Like me when I was 8. But yeah, she had to have it removed and I remember she was like, yeah, I'm fine, and then I never saw her again. Oh, you watched it one day? Holy moly. I would not be able to do that these days. Like, I can't sit still for 2 seconds. When I'm watching TV with my husband, I have to be like sewing or putting something together or cutting something or uploading TikToks or inputting something in the computer. I can't even sit still for that long. Unless there's ice cream, which we did have last night. And I did work last night as well. So, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit of an addict at work at the moment with the small business. Because it never ends. So I'm just stitching this elastic. And it's not feeding through. Because like I said before, I only got one stitch moving foot. Because I bought this broken, but it was cheap. So, and it works. It still works. It's just a little bit extra work to put in. Which I do not mind at all. Please tell me that stitched through both. Good, yeah. I only got the end of it, so I'm going to have to stitch it again. There we go. Because I don't want it to break on someone. Does anyone else have like a scrunchie addiction? Like not making them, like if you make them as well, but like buying them? Like you see a scrunchie and you're like, oh my god, that's so me. Well, I keep doing that, but I keep making them and then having them, like, from myself. Like, I've got all these as well. Like, I've got Harry Potter ones, dinosaur ones. I do have this one rainbow one. I only have one at the moment because I need to buy more fabric. But my friend, she saw it and she was like, oh my god, that matches the pouch I bought off you. I'm going to have that. And I was like, okay, I only have one for now. So if you like that one, let me know and I'll buy more fabric and I'll put it online. Oh, someone's walking past with their dog. And my dog is losing it. You'd think from the sound of my dog's bark that he's this big vicious bull mastiff, but he's not. He's a bull mastiff cross staffy, which is kind of like a pit bull, so he's a little bit chunky. But like, he's the biggest softie. When I went for a nap earlier this morning, because I had to drop the kids off at daycare, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a nap with my husband because he had the day off today. And our dog, he fell asleep at my feet, and then somehow he wrangled his way up between us. And he's a big dog. He's a 45 kilo dog. I don't know how much that is in pounds, but like 45 kilos, that's the size or the weight of probably a year 6 student. I think I weighed that much in year 6. That's why I'm like thinking, like, what would it weigh like? But he weighs more than my kids. And he's probably the size of both my kids put together. They're 2 and turning 1 in a week and a bit. Actually a week today, he turns 1. My dog, he's 5. You may see videos of him on my TikTok and Instagram and stuff. Oh, I almost sewed it without the tag. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know what this is. Sorry, something popped up. Yeah, and he is just the biggest sook. So if you guys have big dogs and they're silks, let me know. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Weren't they big in like the 80s and 90s, and then they kind of died out when the noughties came, and now they're just fully back. Like, everyone that I know that sews, well, almost everyone, they know how to make scrunchies, and they've made scrunchies sometime in like to sell. It's crazy. It's a good place to start though. Like, I don't know how to sew clothes, but my friend does, but she doesn't know how to do scrunchies, but I do. So I'm more into like the smaller stuff that I can make lots of until I learn to make the bigger stuff. Just because I want to get my confidence up a bit more. And people love scrunchies at the moment as well, so there's like nothing wrong with making scrunchies. I love them. Inside this. You remember being popular. Yeah. They weren't that popular in high school. I think I got picked on a few times for having a scrunchie. Or having my hair pulled back and then having these little curls out. People were like, oh my god. And now it's in fashion. It's crazy once you become an adult and then things come back into fashion. For, like, the things that you used to get picked on for, like not waxing your eyebrows. I know that some people... the fashion thing is having like eyebrows where you can see the hairs, which is great because I don't have to change mine then. I don't have to get them waxed to be in fashion. And same with the freckle filters, which I thought was really weird. I used to get picked on a lot as a kid for having freckles. Like, my whole body is freckles. I don't know if you can see it now because of the filter on this. I just have the filter on to make it a bit more brighter in here. But yeah, I got picked on all the time for my freckles. And it's crazy. And this is another one. So these are all the same colour. I'm just doing the same colour one so I don't have to change the thread as much. That's the one with a tag. I love it. The tag just makes it all that more sweeter, like homemade feel to it. We don't have any new orders, guys. Check out our website. You will fall in love with all our stuff, I hope. And if there's something on there and you're like, oh my god, I love that, but in something else, let me know, because I have so much fabric, but I've made it some things in the same fabric and some things different fabric. So if you want something in a certain fabric, let me know, because that's what my friend did the bow that I just made this morning on here, that was a custom order. She wanted a dog bow to match the scrunchie she was going to buy. And she messaged me and said, hey, can you make that in a dog bow? And I was like, oh my god, yes, I'm up for the challenge because I've not made bows in so long. And they're not that hard, except I did have to Google it because I stuffed something up. But she gets both the bows anyway because one's a bit bigger and one's the smaller size that she wanted. So she got both, which is awesome. Because when the dog gets bigger, because it was for a puppy, so puppies are quite small, you want like smaller bows. So she got one for when the dog's a little bit bigger as well. So I'm just stitching this elastic, making sure it's extra strong. Super important, especially when you have thick hair. These are all on our website as well, guys. They're all on my bio if you want to check out our website. Cool. So you do the stretch test, make sure that the elastic's not going to break. Super important to do the stretch test. The amount of times I bought stuff from Kmart, like scrunchies from Kmart, and they've just maybe lasted like maybe a month. And if you know me, I wear scrunchies religiously. I do need them to be quite strong. But that's a good thing about making your own, is you can make them however strong or whatever design you want. Just putting this label in this little gap here. And this fabric, it's a bit hard to work with just because it is stretchy and a little bit hard. Like it has a wet feel to it. It's dance fabric. So if you do dance classes and you want fabric like this, go check out our scrunchies. I have lost that pen that I just had. No, it's right here in front of me. You know, for someone that wears glasses, you'd think I'd be able to see a little bit better. So I'm just pinning it while it's inside that gap. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to sew along there. And if you want to know how we make the scrunchie so that there's only a small gap instead of sewing all the way around, let me know. I'll make a live or a video and I'll show you guys. And I can tag you as well, which is awesome. So we're just going to sew along there. Remove the pin. And I'm using a stretch needle on my machine, which is super important. You don't want to use a normal needle just because this fabric, it's kind of like a spandexy fabric, so you do need a special needle, or else if you use a normal one it will jump and you'll have missing like gaps in your work, and it will just fall apart, and it's not worth selling when they fall apart. It's not sellable. I don't even know if that's a word. So that's the last one of that colour. For a while there is some, but I can't get to them because there's so many scrunchies in the way, and I don't want to pull them all off because the elastics are only put together with a pin, and if I take them off then I'm going to lose that little hole and then I have to find it again, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So these ones are on our website as well. They're $7.50. I've just uploaded a heap of new ones as well, so go check them out if you're interested. You may see me sewing and making some here and there, but I think now we're going to need to find one that matches this blue. So, oh, they're all in a big group here that I could do. So, you know, I might cheat a little bit. I might go against what I said. I'm going to pull off all these burgundy ones because I'm not using that thread yet. But I'm going to hold them. So see how there's like a gap and there's elastic. So I'm just going to put it on my finger like that. And I'm going to pull these ones off because I'm going to use the same thread for them. There's a burgundy one in the way again. These ones are so sweet. These ones remind me of the 90s, early noughties, which I am a late 90s baby, a mid 90s baby. So I don't really know, but from the photos, like especially of my parents and stuff and people wearing scrunchies, and that's the kind of scrunchie I think of when someone says the 90s to me. And there is quite a few different types of ones that we do have here as well. And then I'm going to put this back on because I've held the elastics with my finger. I can just slide them back on. And this is actually my belt that I've put these on, which I kind of regret because it's my favourite belt and I haven't been able to wear my jeans with them for a few days now. So I've been wearing like one of my old work belts, and I used to work in takeaway, so it smells a little bit, which happens when you have a belt in takeaway. I used to work at KFC, so you probably know like the plain black belts that you wear when you work in hospitality. So I found a heap more of these, and I can use the same thread, like the same colour thread. So it's $3.42. We are accepting orders, so if you guys want scrunchies, any of the ones that you see I'm making or ones that you can't see, they're all on our website as well. They're all handmade in WA, so if you want to support your local small business, me, pop over to our page, our TikTok page, and it's in our bio. We got really lucky. All of our social media, we've got the name Sunflower and Wisp, like in all our usernames and stuff. So if ever you're trying to find us on something, just type in Sunflower and Wisp, and no doubt it will pop up. We're super lucky on that front. Beautiful. So I just go back and forth 8 times, make sure that it's held properly, and just do a little stretch test as well, because you don't want it to break on someone. That's like the worst feeling, is having it broken on you. Beautiful. I think that is going to hold. So get our little label that we got, and they come on a roll as well, so you've got to cut them out yourself, and you can cut them a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, but this is the size that it comes in. They do come in wider ones as well, but I just wanted a little skinny one, just so that it's on there, you know what it is. I didn't want it too big, because then it kind of takes away from the scrunchie a little bit, kind of distracts you from it. That's what I find anyway. If you find it's like perfect for you, that's awesome. This is just what I find works best with me, in my opinion. But it's good that we can have good different opinions, or else we would all be the same, and that would be very boring. Beautiful. There we go. So we're just going to sew that tag on there. Oh, I love it. It looks so nice. So we're going to find where the gap starts, right on the end there. And it's really important that you sew the whole gap, because if you have a little hole, it doesn't look as nice, and you will be able to spot it over time, because that hole will get bigger if it's not sewn. Okay, now remove the needle. Beautiful. And this colour does blend really well. Like, it's not all, like the thread I'm using is blue, it's a light blue, and this fabric I've sewn it onto isn't light blue, but it still blends. It does have some blue undertones on there, which is really good. That's what we want. How cute. This one's on our website as well. Oh, we made so many on this live. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have these done in no time. Please ignore my dog. There is people walking past, and he thinks he owns the street. Alright. Well, school's finished at School Kids. Awesome. Time goes by so fast when you're talking on this thing, on TikTok. I might do a TikTok again tonight for all the night owls that are staying home on their Friday nights, which will be us, because we're parents. We don't do anything fun. Plus, the weather's not as great. If you have any recommendations though for places to go with kids, let us know, because we would love that on a Friday night. We do try and get out. This is our one day off together without the kids, but we decided to just have a nap this morning. So I thought, oh, I better get to work. If any of you guys are interested in these scrunchies that I'm making, head over to our website. They're $7.50, all of them, each. And we do free shipping Australia-wide as well, which I think is super important, especially with the shipping and cost of living and stuff going up. I think it's really important to have the prices lower, just to help you guys out. You can still have what you want, and we can, you know, be that for you guys. And free shipping, like, that's the best selling point there is, besides saying that it's on sale. So beautiful. I'm just placing this tag on the inside here. It's been a bit difficult because this is dance material here, like dancing spandex. If you do dancing classes as well, this would be perfect because it will match like that dancey feel. So we're just going to sew that little label on. If you're in Perth as well, let me know what you guys are doing on this Friday night, because I live in Perth and I'm a parent, so I don't get out much anymore. But sometimes the nightlife here isn't that bad, as people say. Just pulling that through. Beautiful. Sorry, the thread came undone, which does happen sometimes. If you guys have any questions about sewing as well, let me know. Or the Cricut machine. I have one here, and I've been making some stuff, which I might do again in a minute. I'll have a break from this and show you some of that. So if you notice that I'm putting it here, that's because there's a little blade here that cuts the thread. That's what that is. I'm not being weird and stroking my machine, it's just where the thread cutter is. And then I use the scissors. I know you're probably like, oh, why don't you just use the scissors in the first place? Well, sometimes it's just easier to use that thread thing and then cut afterwards. So this one hasn't turned out as great as I'd expect. Yeah, so it's been jumping again, so this needle probably does need to be changed soon, just because if it is jumping threads and it is a stretch needle already, that means that there's something going on, whether it's something I need to adjust in the settings. Even though the other ones turned out perfectly fine, sometimes it just chucks a hissy fit and decides, you know what, I'm not going to sew this little bit of fabric that you put there. And trust me, it happens. You'll be on a roll making something with one material, and one time it will just be like, no, I don't want to do it. Beautiful. So we just unpicked that so we can sew it again, just because I want these products to look amazing for when people receive them. I mean, they are handmade, so there's little uniquenesses about them, but still. So this one's on our website as well. It's the Blue Mermaid scale for $7.50. All our scrunchies are $7.50. They're all the same size as well now. We did have some mega ones, but people much preferred the normal size ones, so we changed them back. Yeah, much better. See, so sometimes it just does that. It just chucks a little bit of a hissy fit sometimes, isn't what it wants, and then it'll decide it wants to work the next time. But that usually is a sign that you need to change your needle soon if it starts doing that, even if it's just once. Either that, like change your needle, change your tension, or look at the fabric that you're using and think, is that the right fabric to use with this needle? That's the blue scale one, and that's now got our label on there. How cool is that? A little bit of personalizational touch on that. Like I said, these are $7.50 as well. Super stretchy, and they're really pretty in the light as well. There's no sun coming through, it's cloudy, so you can't really see it. When it comes through, I'll have to show you again, but they're really pretty. And they're really bright as well. So I'll show you guys the Cricut machine again, just so we can have a bit of a break from that. Might have to go soon because I am going to have to pick up my kids from daycare. We're so lucky that we can have our kids go in daycare, especially so I can work and do this for you guys as well. So super grateful. And I found that since them being in daycare, they've learned a lot more things that I probably wouldn't have been able to teach them. So that little bit of mum guilt goes away when they come home and they've made new friends. So if you're a mum and your kids go to daycare, you probably, or a parent in general, you probably have that little bit of parent guilt or mum guilt, and that is completely normal. But my kids are getting much better by being there than here. Like, them learning more colours, they're more one-on-one, they make friends, which is really important, especially at their age, as they're not at school age yet. Is learning those social skills, I think. I almost started doing the vinyl with this unpicker, which probably wouldn't have turned out that great. So let me just get my tools out again. So I got these Cricut scissors. We used this one just before, and we used it to lift up the vinyl. We got our Cricut tweezers. Super important. Some people use them, some people don't. I don't use them as much as I would like to. And we do have our hook, or our weeding tool, as some people call it. It's super important as well. This one's not a Cricut brand, but I buy all my vinyl from Rainbow Vinyl Co, and I bought this one from Rainbow Vinyl Co as well. And it's a felt tip squeegee that you can use, and it's just, it doesn't scratch like the Cricut one does. The Cricut brand, because there's no felt on it, whereas this one I find doesn't scratch, and you can see the difference on the vinyl whether it's scratched or not scratched. So I highly recommend these. I think they're about $5 from Rainbow Vinyl Co, which you can find online. They do have 2 stores in Perth as well, one in Malaga, one in Carla, and they're super nice. They're a small Australian business as well, probably not as small as I think, because they are so popular at the moment, especially since the Cricut's come out with new machines. So what we're going to do, I'll tip this down so you guys can see. No, it's being stubborn. There we go. So you can see my scrunchies. I'm just going to move them to the side. So this vinyl here, we're going to make a D20 dice, and we're going to put it onto one of our vinyl backings. And I'm going to show you guys just how to lift that vinyl up. So with the bigger pieces, with your weeding tool, you can stab and then pull up. And with the smaller ones, you don't want to stab. You just want to irritate it. You just want to get your weeding tool and just kind of put it over the top and irritate it. Now, you may notice this is a little sharper than your normal weeding tool. That's because I sharpened it, because I noticed it wasn't picking up the vinyl how I wanted it to. And all you do to get that is you just get some aluminium foil, roll it into a ball, and just stab it a few times. Same with your Cricut blades. Sometimes if you don't have enough money to buy a new one, which does happen, or you're waiting for delivery, or you know, you just want to sharpen it because it's not cutting as nice as you'd like to, you can just grab it out and put it in some aluminium foil and just stab it a few times. It's like sharpening a knife, but you're sharpening this. So it is very sharp, but I prefer it that way. That's me. But if you prefer yours not as sharp, that's cool too. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to kind of stab it, scoop it up and lift. And we're going to be careful because sometimes it does lift up the numbers, and I don't have a weeding tool where you put the vinyl into, so I just use my knuckle. I'm totally fine with that too. Like someone said earlier that there is a weeding tool bracelet, because I said that the rings that they do, which is usually a nail polish holder, if you've seen them, they won't fit my fingers because I do have quite big hands. I'm a 6-foot woman. I don't exactly have the smallest hands, but she said that there's a bracelet, so I'm gonna have to check that out and make a video of it, because that's the first I've heard of it. She said it was like a scrunchie bracelet, so I'm gonna have to look into it because I love scrunchies. And scrunchie bracelet that can also double as a weeding tool will help a lot. So I'm just lifting this up, making sure I'm not actually grabbing the side, because if I grab the side and lift up this bit, it will cause it to have air bubbles. So we don't want to do that. So just got this tiny piece here. I can see it looks like my machine hasn't quite cut it properly, so I'm just going to irritate it until it comes off. There we go, beautiful. Go on to this side. I've noticed for some reason the ones on these D20 decals do like to come up. Yeah, this one's come up as well. So this is the number 10, and you just can pull it back with your finger and use the weeding tool to push it down, the number that you want to keep on there. There we go. Put it on my finger, and we're just going to irritate this tiny bit here. And just lift that up. Beautiful. Same with this one, the big piece, we just pull up. There's no little pieces in that one, so that one's fine. This big one for the 20 in the middle, you can stab it down, pull it back. And for the inside of the 0, we're just going to irritate it a bit. You can stab it down, it is quite a big piece. just be mindful of the vinyl around it, that you don't stab it, because then you will get holes in the vinyl, and that's when you get air bubbles and it won't stick for as long, and it's just not as pretty. So we're going to do this number 2. 14, make sure the 1 stays down. And the inside of the 4, we're not going to stab it down, we're just going to have it over the top, and we're just going to irritate it till it comes off. There we go. Stick it on my finger. This is a 4. The 4 does want to come up, so I'm just going to use my finger. There we go. And just take your time with this. There is, like, even professionals take their time, because some things are so little, you just need it to be perfect. And it's better to just take your time, because it will come out much better. There's no competition or anything, just concentrate. There we go. I used to see people doing it really fast, and I was like, oh my god, I have to be like that. But no, you don't. You just take your time to get that perfect product. And it doesn't even have to be 100% perfect, like it's been made in a store. Like, these are handmade items by real people. And these dice aren't on our website yet, but they will be soon, so make sure you stay up to date with that. Just irritate this little one inside the 6. Beautiful. So that's that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to get some transfer tape, and we're going to transfer it onto this. Now, I do have a little hack to show you guys as well on how to transfer it a lot better. Ooh, whacked my knuckles on that one. We use parchment paper, and I will show you that in a minute. It's a cool little hack I actually learned off TikTok. So, always learning. So we're going to get our roll. This roll I got from Rainbow Vinyl Co. I can't remember how much it cost me, but it was really cheap compared to the Cricut brand. It's a medium to high tack. So it sticks really well, but it also helps transfer really well. So you're not trying it like super hard to get it to transfer. So what I do, how I do it, is I measure how big it will be, and then I put it back over the top like that. So it's like part of the roll now. And then what we do is we lift it up, we take the paper with it, or else you're going to struggle, and we're going to cut around. This also helps you save on transfer tape as well. If you're just doing it like this, you're not estimating by cutting it too big or anything like that. So I'll put that there, and we use this felt scraper now. You can use this other side because there is transfer tape protecting it, but I still prefer to use the felt side. Again, I buy this from Rainbow Vinyl Co. If you want to check them out, they sell vinyl and it's really affordable, like $4 a meter, instead of the Cricut brand, which are like $19. So we just make sure that that's nice and on there, and when you lift it up off your workbench, just make sure, again, take the paper with you. Now this one is Metamark Permanent. This one has a 5-year life on it, 5-year outdoor life, so this would be like using the premium outdoor vinyl of the Cricut brand. So I'm just refreshing my computer to see if there's any new orders coming through. Okay, no new orders, but that's fine, because that means I get to show you guys all this other cool stuff. So when we remove this, quite a few people have had struggles where the paper will still stick, but the thing is, you do still want it to stay on the transfer tape even if there's a little bit of paper attached, because it's better to remove the paper when it's on the tape than it is to place it from the paper free-handed onto the tape. So, because it won't be as perfectly aligned. And sometimes you do have to try a few different angles to try and lift it up as well, and that's fine. So there's a bit of paper sticking, I noticed, on this. There we go. So there's a 2 that's stuck on the paper, so I'm going to try and put it back, even if there's some paper that goes with it. As long as it's stuck on the transfer paper, that allows me to not have to stick it on freehand. Because that would be a disaster. It won't be as aligned. I can tell you that right now. So it's not sticking as well to the transfer tape as I'd like. That's okay. We're just going to do it a little bit slower, which sometimes happens. It happens to everyone. It's not like a you thing. It sometimes happens. Everyone does it. Sometimes it's the angle, and you can just switch it up a bit. we're just going to remove that. I'm not sure if you guys can see it this great, but there we go. And there you can see a little bit of the paper is sticking to the 20 in the middle, and that's fine because I'm going to show you how to remove it. And the reason we remove the paper is just because if you leave the paper on there, it's not going to stick to whatever product you want to stick it to, and you will get air bubbles and it will fall off and it will be a disaster. So as long as the paper's on there and we can remove it, it's fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be okay. Okay. Yeah, see there's like a massive bit of paper there, so that's off. And it's really good that this Metamark has like a light off blue backing, so we can tell when it is stuck on there because it's white at the back. And how we're going to remove it is we're going to use our weeding tool, and we're going to do what we did for the small parts, is we're just going to rub it horizontally over the top. We're just going to agitate it a little bit. You don't want to stab down because that will put holes in your vinyl, and again that will bring on air bubbles. So we're just going to irritate it. Look at that. And you can use your tweezers for this as well when you've lifted up a bit. Some are a bit harder to see. They're blue and fluffy, so you just agitate it a bit. There we go. And just take your time. Honestly, like, don't rush this because that's when mistakes happen. If you're confident enough to rush it, do it. But don't compare yourself to anyone else. Like, just take your time. No one's going to judge you. There we go. Oh, that was perfect. That one. This is the second last one that has paper on it. So again, it's super good, like, that it stick to the transfer tape. As long as it's on the transfer tape, even if it has paper, we can always remove the paper, but we can't always put it back perfectly aligned. So it's a lot better to just have the paper on there than not having it on there at all. Okay, and then we do this too, and also like rotate it, spin things around, try different angles, get creative with it. And we're just going to do this too, just going to agitate it. Don't put as much pressure on, like light pressure and then harder as you go, just because it might not be stuck on the transfer tape properly like this one. So I'm only doing it very lightly and then tapping it back down, the number. There we go. And it's getting stuck to the other vinyl, so I'm just going to drag it. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you this hack that I learned from TikTok. So whatever you're sticking it to, put it underneath. Now this is baking paper or parchment paper, depends where you are or what it's called. And it does not stick to vinyl. So we can put this on there and it will not stick, which is actually what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick it on there, but with a little bit of transfer tape off the top, like that. And you can actually see through it. So that's what we're going to use. Is we're going to use this to align it perfectly with the object underneath until we're happy, and then you stick that down, and we're going to lift up the transfer tape with the vinyl on it, and it will not stick to your parchment paper, so you just remove it, and then slowly from the top we're going to bring it down. And doing this slowly and starting from the top means that there is no air bubbles or less air bubbles. And then I like to just stick it with my finger, and then doing this with the felt scraper. And then what you do is you peel this transfer tape when you're happy with it. You peel it back on itself, so against itself, like this on a 90-degree angle. And just take your time because sometimes, yes, they do stick. Beautiful. So that's how it's turned out. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to use our fingers and stick it down on top. You don't want to use your scraper at this point, because if there's any little bits that do have air bubbles and are sticking up, you're going to lift that up by using the scraper. So just use your fingers, just nice and gently, and that is your finished product. And at this point you can either use transfer tape or you can just transfer it like that, like a sticker, and put it onto something. You can sell them like this, you can sell them with the tape on top like I've done with these ones. Now these are actually two different coloured vinyls that are stuck together in one shape, and the reason it's got transfer tape, and this one doesn't, is because the only thing holding these two colours of vinyl together is this white vinyl. So that's why the transfer tape's on there as well, for extra support. So that supports it. This one, you don't need the extra support. You can just peel it off like a sticker. And these can go outdoors. They do last 5 years. Indoors, they're around 5 to 7 years. It's more anything if it's exposed to elements or like water or wind or sun or anything like that. That's when it starts bringing the life down. So that's that one. We also have been making, I will show you, with our Cricut machine. Now these ones are on our website. They are called window clings. So you may have seen these going around. They're like a new thing that people are making. You stick them on your window, and when it's in direct sunlight, the light that goes through it creates a rainbow in your room. And we have so many different designs. We've made them, this one's called the Feminism Pack or Bunch. It's the only one I made so far. I am trying other designs as well. But this one relates to me more, so I thought, oh, I'll make this one and see if people like it. Now the white stays the same, but on our website you can actually change this center color to something else, or anything that's yellow you can change it to a different color, like blue or purple, green, yellow, orange, anything like that. We do have all the colors on there, so if you're interested, please check them out. And these are $7.50 as well each, or you can get them in a bundle, I think for $35. I just put them up and I've already forgotten the price for the bundle, but it is cheaper. You save about $10 if you buy the bundle. You can cover your whole window, you can have just a little bit of your window, or put them throughout your house. They're just those little quotes that, you know, make you feel better. I thought, you know what, I'll put those on some window clings. I did have these on my window, but I had to take photos of them for the website. That's why they're not up there at the moment. Yeah, so I think that's going to be all for today, guys. I will most likely be on tonight, so if you guys have anything you want to see tonight, let me know in one of my videos and I will try my best to make that. If you want something made on the Cricut machine, on the sewing machine, or the overlocker, let me know what you want to see. And if you place your order, I will make them on the live tonight. So if you check out our website in the bio, if you purchase anything, it's free shipping Australia wide. We will make it on the live and you guys can see how it gets made, and we will pack it and send it off. So I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for watching me. I hope you've learnt some stuff. If you have any more questions, let me know. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. And just thank you for the support. And I will see you guys tonight. So make sure you place your orders. Bye.